Greetings and salutations, everybody. We are back with more Feng Shui 2nd edition in Imperial China. Hooray!
Hooray!
All right, last time you all successfully boosted or stole, or whatever term you want to use for it, nicked the governor's vault, basically.
What's that?
Yeah. I don't think we nicked it per se. We might have Olan'd it, you know? We might take it on an Olan.
Heisted, which is not actually a verb, but, whatever.
Hoisted?
I said heisted. But...
Yeah.
Well, we did hoist it.
I don't know. I don't know if hoisting's what we did, really. We threw stuff off a cliff, though.
You did, in fact, yeet it off a cliff. That is true.
Yes. Yes. The traditional ancient Chinese term yeeting is
yes,
a very
absolutely
important one.
All right, so you have absconded with the governor's vault, basically. Outside of leaving behind, you made a copy of the ledger, but left the original behind, open to a particular page, if I remember correctly.
Right, to make it clear that he had been making under the table payments, which could essentially be blamed for his coffers being empty.
Yes. So, what's now, intrepid adventurers?
Adventurers?
I mean, you are definitively adventurers.
I just like, okay, I have to add that to my list of jobs.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the plan here is to see how this starts playing out, and then I know Zhao needs to probably go in at some point and do this, do the official stuff. But I know Ulan is still waiting to see her swordsman.
There's a bit of fan coming on your end, Ash.
Oh, let me turn that off then.
All right. So yeah, Olan wants to get in contact with the captain of the guard, if I remember correctly.
Correct.
Okay.
I remember.
And we know that Batu wants to beat the governor up, but that's Batu wants to beat most people up, so that's
Yep.
Mecca,
yes.
Before we go too far, I have a question. So, last we gathered, which was way too long ago, but unavoidable, I had expressed that I had wanted to have a scene with Zhao Lu.
Oh, sure, you could absolutely feel free.
The scene previously.
Go for it.
I'm fine with it waiting till later.
Right, and that's along the lines of my question. Will we have the time for that later?
I have no idea.
Okay.
It depends on what happens, honestly.
Okay.
I am prepped for several different things to happen at this point. We will see.
All right. The conversation can happen under basically any context for the most part. I just wanted to put that forward that
Fair enough.
is on my mind, and I definitely want to get it done with before the end of the session somehow.
We will see if we have time. Definitively. All right. Well, yeah, you guys are... The cart has gone over the cliff. You have recovered Daolu. From there, you've camped for the night. I remember correctly, Olan and Yuri had a chat. And yeah, that's where we are.
Olan basically swore herself to Umitomi's cause, which Umitomi was raising a lot of eyebrows about. I was like, yeah, okay.
Well, because Yuri doesn't seem to understand the concept of that. Well, we're friends now, so.
All right.
It's less that she doesn't understand that, more she thinks it's a phenomenally stupid idea. Not friendship. Swearing to her cause.
I would not put it past her to view that, but
All right. So
I don't know if Olan's ever demonstrated her that she has a lot of wisdom to her. So
It was Peter. Yes. Please
yes.
Say.
So it is morning. What would you guys like to do?
Well,
I should also probably shift it over to the actual
I suppose.
Screen capture.
Yuri being Yuri, she's going to be in a tree and is going to be checking for plumes of smoke.
Fair.
Is anything on fire?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you see plumes of smoke coming from the capital. Coming from the direction of the capital, I should say.
Right. Well, I think someone's going to be mad. We left the capital in worse shape than it was when we arrived.
Yeah, I was just kind of like,
let's go take credit.
Okay.
No.
What do you mean no?
No.
we should probably find out what's happening.
That is not a terrible idea. I mean, if you want to. Finding
No,
out
that
what's
was-
happening is probably the safest thing you can
Yes.
do involving the capital.
We'll do that.
I mean, that was Zhao talking to the others, but yeah.
I'm just saying, like, yes, going to find out what's happening is probably reasonably will not actually cause anything else to happen. I will say that. It may inform your decisions, however. It also may not.
I do value an informed decision. And considering that things are going a little sideways for local community centers, yeah, being informed would be very valuable.
All right. All right.
But that's
So
as far as Yuri's interest goes in this.
all right. So you guys head towards the capital, then I take it.
That is.
Yeah.
Okay. You arrive at sort of the outskirts of the capital. The plumes of smoke are more noticeable from here now because you're closer, and and you can see the city now. They're not. They seem to be smaller than they were when you first noticed them, Yuri. It looks like they're getting things. At least the fires, whatever's on fire, seems to be getting under control.
Before we go back into the capital,
Mhm.
a thought's going to occur to Lon, and she is going to find like a place that she could, mark something. She's going to stash the jade sword that we stole.
Okay.
Which seems very easily identifiable.
Sure.
Mhm.
And she's going to stash it, like near where we like made camp. She's going to mark it with a particular stone.
Sure.
Or something like that.
If you guys want to leave a stash of the more easily identifiable stuff that you took with you, that you didn't send over the cliff, that is a perfectly valid thing to do.
Yeah, that'd be wise.
I'm going to
That's a
take
good
one
idea.
thing that is easily concealable, but very much obviously something that was in there,
Okay.
in case we do actually need to take credit and prove it.
Also, okay, sure.
Not the worst idea. I
So
guess.
very concerned about the poor getting blamed for this. If I were the governor, I would absolutely blame bandits in the poor section. So
Just it's just.
When you put it that way, that does make a degree of sense.
This way, they'll blame foreigners.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Exactly.
it's just Batu trying to stir
Well,
up things
I mean,
between China and the Mongols.
to be fair, blaming it on the Mongols is a Chinese tradition at this point.
I mean, it's not going to change anything if they blame it on the Mongols.
Stub your toe. Thanks, Attila.
All right, so you do notice. Everyone, give me a notice check.
I
This is
found
going
it.
to be a fairly low DC.
Now
Use
I'm-
detective like usual.
Yes, you can use if you've got an appropriate skill that's not noticed. You may use that also.
I'll do detective. Also, Wyrot, you put the mental image of leaning over and inserting a crowbar between a horse's legs now.
I rolled exactly average. Oh, I should probably click on my dude.
Got 3. Don't notice shit. Let's get going.
Um,
I'm too busy folding
right.
linens and prepping
all
stuff
right,
as we
Skitch,
move.
it was a DC 5 check, so yes, you did not succeed.
I did not roll the dice, even though I tried to roll the dice. Hang on.
It did. It rolled a
It did.
rolled a 7.
You have a 7.
I did?
Yeah, you rolled a 5 and a 5. Just rolled the very bottom of
You
the
might want
chat
to. You
there.
need to scroll the
There
window
you are.
down.
No, I don't see it. It's not. Oh, there it is. Okay. I finally spotted it. Okay.
Okay, so it was DC 5 check. The one thing that, okay, all of you notice this because this is a DC. There's a DC 0 component, which is you do not notice that you notice that there's nobody guarding the gate currently.
Mm.
If you made a DC 5 check, you also notice it doesn't seem many people out and about in the streets right now, the way they would normally be in the mornings in a large city like this. For at least in the part of the city you can see through the gate.
I mean, that is to be expected after what happened last night.
Is it?
If you rolled a 10 or better, you notice the streets in the area you're near are pretty darn quiet. Like, even more so than, like yeah, there's nobody about. No, there's really nobody about. If you rolled a 15 or better, this would be Zhao, you can barely make out the sounds of something that sounds like conflict up by the palace, which is much further into town. So it's really hard to make it out. Like, you can you can barely hear it, basically.
Yeah, Zhao just kind of turns to there's sounds like all the action's happening up near the center gates.
I'll point out that Zhao actually boxcarred that.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Because that's 2 exploding 6 positives and 1 exploding
That
negative.
is a very good point. That is a crit success, therefore. I really can't...
Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. I'm not sure there's much more you can add to it.
All right, Zhao?
I'm putting it to the record there.
Zhao, I'm going to put it this way. If when you get near if you guys get near the palace and something would be... that could possibly cause you will get... on your first roll once you guys get near the palace, you'll get a free fortune die on it.
Okay, thank you.
Oh yeah.
Because you are aware enough of what's going on that you are ready. You are prepped and ready for shenanigans. So what are you guys doing?
It sounds like we should start seeing what's happening over near the palace gates.
Okay. Do you guys want to head into town?
I'd almost be inclined to just purloin a few things from some of the local establishments, since there doesn't seem to be anyone around. But at the same time, probably not too wise to get too greedy.
Well, the thing you notice as you're going through town is everything is shut. Like, everyone's like closed up their like, all the places of business are basically shuttered and
High noon.
I was gonna say
basically, yeah.
Actually, wait. Different line of thought.
Yep.
What does the chi flow in the area look like?
That's a good question. Give me a magic roll. 8.
8.
Does not look any different than it was before.
Okay.
Like, yeah, the chi flow seems to be the town seems to be laid out to sort of direct the flow of chi towards the palace. Unsurprisingly.
Right. It's not
Like-
like disturbed or anything.
No, nothing's been disturbed. No.
Okay.
Also, the palace is not like it's not like there's like a huge like influx of chi to the palace or anything like that. It's just traditional feng shui layout of a capital city, basically.
Right. Okay.
This is not a feng shui site.
Right.
The Hidden Palace, that's a feng shui site.
You don't say.
Just to get that out of the way.
I kind of had a feeling.
Yeah. All right. So you walk through town, and you are literally the only people out in the streets. Every now and then you can see, like, someone sort of peek out through a window as you walk by, but they sort of duck back in.
Bow, wow.
Yeah.
Yuri doesn't like the idea of having no crowd to provide cover, so she's going to head up to rooftops.
That's fine. It is about as quiet, and there are about as many people, but at least they'd have to look up to find you.
I'm going
Exactly.
to, if it's on the way, I'm going to stop by the forge that Olan worked a little bit at a couple sessions
Yep.
ago.
The door's closed.
Just gonna knock.
There does not seem to be any answer.
Should try and like peek her head through a window.
The fires in the forge have been extinguished.
Something's very wrong here.
By the way,
She'll try and call through the door too, just because she did get to know
Mhm,
the matter
sure.
of forge stuff, but It would be rude to try and break and enter in her mind, so she won't try to.
That's fair. There's not seem to be any response. Now, mind you, there might just not be anybody in the forge area itself. So,
Right.
Hmm.
but yeah, no response. It's just quiet.
I'm very sad I don't have any kind of explosives or flamethrower or missile launcher. No collateral damage. It's just... Oh well.
You're not playing Marcus, Eric.
That's a deep cut from 1,000 years ago.
Yes, it is. All right. For those who are listening, that's a reference. It's a reference to the first Feng Shui game I ever ran with Eric, which was not on any stream or anything like that. It was ages and ages ago.
The internet wasn't even real then. It was just something that was in fiction. Same with cars.
I mean, we had email addresses.
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, what are you talking about?
Like there were like message boards. There was message boards.
Emails were carried by literal snails.
No, but there were message boards and such.
Yeah.
This is back around the year 2000.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
But anyways, you guys do finally get eventually you all start hearing the sounds of what sounds like fighting up by the palace.
creep.
And as you get sort of near the palace, you can see outside a clash between the city guards and the Imperial soldiers.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good.
That's about what we were expecting to happen.
But yes. And it seems to be a relatively even fight, only because the city guards outnumber the Imperial soldiers.
I was going to say.
Let's see, the city guard are, they're city guards, like, and they're overworked and tired. But they do outnumber the Imperial soldiers by a fair number.
Hey, what's going on? I was just going to sidle up to someone on the outskirts. Hey, what's going on?
Okay, you can do that. There are okay, before I do any dice rolls or ask the question, are you trying to sidle up on someone who's actively participating, or someone who's like reeling on the ground, knocked out of the fight?
Someone who is participating, like the way Nobby Knobs participates in fights.
Ah, okay, fair enough.
At least one of them.
No, okay. So you're talking about a city guardsman, then? Gotcha.
I presume this means someone who is ostensibly participating, but they're just kind of over there and saying "go to you."
Yeah.
trying to look like they're part of the fight, but very much actually not.
Right.
Might kick someone when they're down.
You're right. Yes. You kick someone when they're down. Why? It's the safest time to do it. All right. Sure. I'm trying to think of okay, now that I know what you're doing. Yeah, sure. Give me, I don't know, some sort of roll. Actually, Eric, just give me a fortune roll. So just roll your fortune, so whatever your base fortune stat is. I forget what it is.
Thought it was higher than 5. Might have forgotten to bump it back up. We're gonna say it's 5 for now.
Okay.
That's a 4.
A 4. That's actually fine. All right. All right. So as you loom up behind this individual, all detritus-like, I mean, you've referenced this world already. I might as well lean into it a little bit. So yes, you see a small, weaselly city guardsman who is lurking about the fringe of the field, trying to look like he's participating, but mostly just, nicking odds and ends from unconscious Imperial soldiers.
What?
Yeah.
When he thinks nobody's looking.
My fortune is in fact 6. I just looked it up.
Okay, so you rolled a 5 then. Which is definitively enough. All right. So yes, you sort of loom up behind him. He goes, "Da!"
Hey, what's going on?
Hi.
Hi.
I'm totally helping fighting off the aggressive
Yeah,
Imperial
no. You keep
Guardsmen who
looting
attacked us for no good reason.
No. You keep taking that guy's boots. So they attacked you for no good reason?
Honestly, I have no idea why. I don't no idea what actually happened. I heard all I hear tell is that something happened in the palace. There was a big hullabaloo, and some people like ran out of there with some cart or something. And then there's a lot of shouting between the governor, his advisors, and those two Imperial Generals are visiting. And next thing I know, the big fight broke out, and yeah, like I've heard, I hear that there's rumors that God, there's so many different rumors. I don't know which ones. I have no idea which are true, and I don't not really my business. The governor's been arrested. The governor tried to poison the generals. The governor's been replaced. The governor's been replaced by some sort of shape-shifting monster.
Ooh, that's a good one.
The generals are actually demons.
Not outside their own possibility.
Good choice for the replacement, Zhao, by the way.
So if the generals are demons and the governor is evil, who do you want to win?
I mean, in that situation, I mean, what do you mean by evil?
I mean, he overworks you guys. He taxes everybody. He's kind of a dickhead.
I mean, that beats out demons most of the time, from what I understand.
Okay, but
I mean, in
but
theory,
if the generals
you-
aren't demons, if they're just dudes who are pissed off because the governor's a jerk, who do you want to win?
Honestly, in that case, I guess the generals, but depends on who. Depends if they've arranged replacements for the governor, who they're replacing him with.
You want to be governor?
God no.
You're probably the best suited for it. Then I move on.
There's several
We
objectively
get to
incorrect
the end. We
statements
get
in
to
that.
the end. We get Zhao's hand-picked, politically experienced a pick for the successor to the governor, and then Batu's guy he met in the street who said he was a bad pick for it.
I'm also thinking I complained about being taxed. I didn't realize Batu was. Anyways, moving on.
Hey.
Hey.
I subscribe to the Douglas Adams pretense of power.
It doesn't help you at all in this case.
All right. Well, you found out what you think might be going on.
So yeah, I'll go back to the party.
Okay.
So it looks like the generals found out that the governor's shit's gone, so now everybody's fighting.
I figured this much. Zhao just kind of looks down the street. So doesn't look like the fighting spilled out into the city yet. That's good.
We could wade in and contain it. Throw our weight behind one side.
That might be what we need to do.
Any
But-
progress on your contact?
That might be what's in order next, is for us to go see if our replacements are ready. If that's true, then it might be time to definitively end the fighting. And
Is there anyone in this skirmish that looks to actually be leading troops, or is it just a bunch of fighting?
It's mostly just a bunch of fighting. Yeah, it does not seem to be well organized. I mean, the Imperial soldiers seem to be reasonably well organized. They've got not non-commissioned. They've got sergeant equivalents there, basically.
All right,
But no actual officers that you can see.
all right.
And it's also probably at the point where actual lines have just completely disintegrated at this point.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Alon's got to do something stupid.
Okay.
So she's going to look around, and I think that for flavor, it might be good if she might spot one of the guys that she and Batu kind of befriended in
Okay.
the gambling den.
Sure, that's
Sees
entirely
them in
possible.
trouble. And she's going to, get up on a stack of boxes or barrels or something like that. She's going to take her sword out, swing it over her head, and she's going to yell for everyone's attention. And
Okay.
I will throw a fortune on this. I'm gonna just try and like intimidate.
Okay.
I was just like looking at this, like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
A 20.
Well, aren't we spookifying?
Yeah.
Oh, 20.
I'm sorry you rolled a 1 on the negative die.
Everyone stop fighting!
Is that,
Well,
is that the
it
tone
had
of
some
voice you want to
very-
go
Was
with?
it Gonzo?
I was
It's
thinking
like-
that had some very Miss Piggy vibes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, well, I
Well, what do you want me to
that-
do?
that is
Sound like an
Piggy
sound-
vibes, but it was like Gonzo voice.
Yeah. Yeah. What do you want me to do? Sound like a screaming woman? I can't do that. I'm sorry.
I mean, fair.
Peter, it looks like we've got a Jim Henson production on our hand now. I'm sorry.
Hell, take it.
Yeah,
Hey,
we've all
I
become
will say
adults.
flatly,
I don't-
if
I
I
don't
can,
think Mech is
if I
ever
can,
gonna
if I
complain
can
about
reach
that.
that level, I would be proud.
Yeah.
At any
We've all
rate,
become adults.
well, the fighting in your immediate vicinity, it's like in your nearly vicinity, it all sort of comes slowly to a halt, and everyone sort of stops and looks sheepishly up at Olan standing on the boxes.
What are you doing? Why are you just killing each other for no reason? Stop it!
You should be ashamed.
Well, you have managed to scold.
Now go to your room and wash behind your ears.
You literally have managed to scold both the city guard and Imperial soldiers into standing down for a bit, at least. I mean, they'll sort of stop, and the guardsmen at least look a little sheepish. Some of them do. A couple of soldiers
One does
do too.
punch someone else after all the fighting stops, but then stops.
See, the funniest thing for Daolu would be like, two of his friends are literally on opposing sides of the fight. Two of his former co-workers, effectively.
I mean, that's entirely that would not be outside the realm of possibilities. Sketch.
given Daolu's just like has been
Yes.
in every job there's ever was.
Yes.
There.
You have probably worked in the Imperial, worked along at least alongside the Imperial army.
Right. Not as a soldier, but
Right.
worked alongside them. And then city guard, sure, that's quote unquote lowly enough
Yep,
for Daolu to
exactly.
have done the job. Soldier is a little bit too prestigious for him. I'm sorry.
This
He's
isn't your. She's gonna say, "This isn't your fight, all right? All of it. Everyone here is, as far as I know, is an innocent man, and you're dying for nothing. So stop it."
Dang. All right. Oh, you rolled a 20 on that roll, so that's giving you well, I'm gonna
It was all that positive die too. That fortune die did nothing.
Well, your fortune die was negated by your negative
My
roll.
negative die. Yeah.
Yeah.
but you've got a good
So-
you've got a good intimidate score to begin with.
Somehow, but yes.
It's because sword masters get good intimidation.
Yep, they do.
Sure. Oh no! I know. I'm saying narratively for Olan as for Olan's character.
Yes.
Somehow she does.
Sure, hang on.
She
I'm gonna
gets it
make
from the
I'm gonna make a roll
relatives.
here.
That's just her normal speaking voice. If she's working in a smithy with others, like they're just all yelling at each other. They're intimidating.
All right,
the
so
metal
your
into
intimidate
conforming.
beats the group's willpower check by 10. Like, not a bad roll. It's just,
Right.
yeah, they basically they all sort of sheepishly just sort of start shuffling off, basically.
That was just like pointing to the wounded that are not dead. It's just like, don't leave them behind.
Well, that's the big thing. They several of them were picking up the wounded as they're going and sort of carrying them off to the medics.
I like the idea of trying to shuffle off. Like, don't leave just yet. Take your
you do.
toys home with
There were a couple that were being picked up, but you do scold you do remind the others that you shouldn't leave anybody behind, guys. Come on, let's be real.
I'm gonna grab somebody as they're kind of shuffling off, and I'm going to say, "Where are your leaders? Who ordered all this fighting?"
Well, from what I understand, the officers up in the palace right now. This all from what I again don't know the full details, but from what I've been hearing, there's something big happened between the generals and the governor, and the main rumor is that the generals had the governor arrested. I'm not sure why. Though I kind of doubt it, given that most of the guards seem to be actually willing to fight. Like if the governor's been arrested, whatever.
All right.
We'll take care of this. I just start walking through the gates.
Well, there's much less fighting, so it's actually pretty easy.
Yeah.
Ash, did you want to go talk to your contact?
Yeah, Zhao is probably gonna vanish for a few minutes to find out if their guy's ready to be installed.
All right. Sure.
So
we will cut to
Yeah.
Zhao, and if anybody goes with him, that's fine. If not, that's also fine. Getting in contact with, and I wrote the name down. I think
it was Ping.
I'm not. Yep, Inspector Ping. Yep. Inspector Ping says, Inspector Zhao, I have found a suitable candidate. I just wish that I'd found the suitable candidate before all this sort of gestures up towards the palace started going down, so I could have had him here immediately.
Zhao was like, oh, he's not here in the city yet?
I've sent message to him. He should be here tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
He's close enough that he should be able to get here by tomorrow. The real issue is that, in theory, this evening is when the captain of the God, what's his name? Hang on, let me get the name. Yes, Captain Shun will return to town because he's been off in the north inspecting the guard outposts, and if he arrives in town while all this fighting's going on, I don't know what'll happen.
So
Yeah, Zhao's just kind of stroking his chin. It's like, yes,
yeah.
that's...
If things are settled when he gets here, in theory, he's arriving soon, is what I should say.
Soon. All right. Yeah, Zhao's like, all right, I understand what the situation is. When our candidate gets here, bring him immediately to the palace.
Understood.
And we'll start the installation process. I'll do what I can to get things simmered down before that. And then it cuts back to Batu walking in the gates.
Well, Batu, you walk in through the gates. The immediate area is fairly quiet. Well, Olan has shamed a bunch of the guardsmen into, the guards and the soldiers into, pointing out, this fighting is stupid. Why are you idiots fighting? Further in,
yeah.
Further in, you do see that there is still more fighting. Again, it's basically, from what you can see, give me a martial arts check, actually.
Ooh. This would be Batu.
Yes, Batu. Yep.
18.
God damn. That's an excellent roll, Batu.
It is an excellent roll. I was not expecting that.
Wow. All right. All right. So looking at the situation and watching how they're fighting, you are... Speaking as someone who has operated as the aggressor in a lot of situations, having seen how city guardsmen fight when on the defensive,
Right.
You are 100% sure at this point that the Imperial Guardsmen are definitively the aggressors in the situation, and that the guards are fighting a defensive fight, mostly because they're being attacked.
Right.
They're not so much defending the governor, and more we're being attacked by the Imperial Guard. Yeah. We've been attacked by the Imperial soldiers. We're not going to just surrender that.
Right.
It's external aggressor reacting to external aggressor situation, and
Yeah. And these guys from out of town are starting to push us around. They haven't told us why. Fuck them. Yeah.
Exactly. That is your read on the situation. Yes. Also, like you're also getting a feel like these are soldiers who've been told, they're not fighting to they're fighting to subdue and not kill.
Right.
There are a few dead bodies here and there, but like it's really clear they're not seeking that out.
Right.
It's more a case of that happens even if you're fighting to subdue. Like
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna keep marching right to the governor's palace.
okay,
Anyone that gets in my way gets thrown a couple dozen yards.
that's fair. Is anyone else going in?
I'm going in.
Okay, you're going in. Yuri, are you sort of observing from the outside or heading in or what? And Dalu, what are you doing?
Yuri is going to keep an eye on the team by basically like watching the team's back, making sure nothing sneaks up on anyone.
Fair enough.
She's not intent to directly get involved at any point unless her hand is forced.
I would picture Dalu's going along to make sure that the team doesn't do things that worsen the situation.
Fair. Oh, you all can now actually see that. Now that you're inside the gates, basically, you now can see what was. You can now see that what was on fire was. There was a. What looks like one of the storehouses seems to have been set on fire, and the fire is now out, and it's no longer really smoke; it's more steam going up now.
Okay.
But yeah, it's very clear. Somebody managed to organize a bit of a fire brigade and put it out, so it didn't spread to the rest of the palace. But yeah, that seems to be the only thing that's on fire. Was on fire.
Mm.
Oh no, I'm sorry. Let me double check my notes here. Yep, no, I'm wrong. There's also steam coming out from one of the windows in the higher parts of the palace itself.
Team?
Well, yes, it looks like a fire was put out.
Because they bring on the fire. Yeah,
Fire,
okay.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm like I had to put that together for a second there.
Yeah, sorry, I was not being clear. I will say, Yuri, you can give me a detective roll since you were there.
Oh, can I?
Yes, you can.
Alrighty. 13.
13. That is good enough. By your estimation for what you saw inside the palace and from your sort of snooping around, that is roughly where the governor's rooms are.
Right. How do paths up to that
okay, that
area
makes
from
sense.
here look from outside?
Actually, I'm not going to make you roll another roll for that. This will be covered by that previous detective roll. Interestingly, it looks like the buildings and the heights of the roofs are sort of set up to make it almost impossible to get to the top of the palace from outside the palace, basically. Like,
Even when grapple hooks and the like are involved.
it's sort of, you need a long grappling hook to get there, basically. Like there are no, like the upper levels of the palace are narrow and pulled in from the walls around it, basically. Like they've distanced it to make it very hard to sneak into the palace from the upper floors. I won't say it's impossible, but it would be tricky. Ooh. Sorry, I just had a thought about something.
Is it relevant to my immediate situation?
It might be, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure if it's something I should say or.
One of those.
Yeah.
All right. Giving a quick glance around, is anyone actually paying attention up in this area?
No, in terms of upwards, no.
Well, then, it doesn't hurt to try. Fortune die, intrude.
Okay, you give me an intrusion roll. That's fine.
It took a while for that fortune die to process there.
There you go.
There we are.
26.
Total.
Okay. All right. What occurs to you?
What rooms would you like to not be in?
No. Yeah. You're getting there because the thing that occurred to me actually is just popped in my head. As you're sort of looking around, it occurs to you that while the fire has been extinguished, there should still be a bit of an updraft from where the stable was set on fire.
I was thinking about that, and that is a trick that Yuri has, in fact, put into effect before.
Yes, it is. So you think you might be able to get enough lift from the remaining heat from the fire there to get up and up on a level where you can theoretically grapple into the window. Get close. You might be able to get close. You're not sure you'll be able to glide all the way there, but you can probably glide close enough that you can.
Enough.
Yeah. So whoosh, grappling up, pull yourself in. You are at the window to the governor's room, which is the window into what looks like the governor's, what was the governor's room. It seems to have been set on fire.
Right.
So you're there. I will get to your if you want to go in and investigate. We can get to that in a second.
I wait with bated breath.
Okay, so are you want to? I assume you want to investigate the room, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, we'll come back to you in a second. So Olan, Daolu, and Batu are walking towards the palace.
Yep.
Every now and then, a bit of a fight sort of spills out in front of Batu, and he sort of clonks the two people's heads together and flings them off to the side, or just sort of brushes them aside.
Action, yes.
Or just sort of
as is tradition.
walks through somebody who's in his way because he is large and they are not.
I'm like smacking people with my scabbard in order to.
You're able to clear a path for yourselves to the palace gates.
Well, I'm like, it's like, stop fighting, stop killing each other, bonk, bonk, and then we move on, kind of thing.
Yes. You arrive at the palace gates, which you do hear what sounds like more fighting inside. But the gates are actually currently being held by a group of Imperial soldiers. And you see several unconscious guards outside. And the soldiers look down at you and say, "Move along. This is not your business."
Yeah, it is. I'll just start walking towards the gates.
Oh, dear.
Because I want you to ask yourselves a question. We just walked through the entire palace grounds, which are on fire and in the middle of a battle. How do you think we did that? With our gracious good looks? Intimidate check.
Okay. Fair. A 15.
Only slightly better than average.
It's not bad.
No, that's not bad. Let me give them a will roll.
Oh,
well, you
dear.
beat them by 9. So yeah, you can see like one of them sort of has that look of whatever. We can totally take him, guys. Guys, we can totally take him, guys. He has that look on his face that he was much more confident about this when it was 5 of them versus you, Batu. Now that it's 1 of them versus you, Batu. So, do you have an appointment?
Yeah, I just sort of gently pick him up by his shoulders, put him aside, and I'm aware that my good looks are incredibly gracious. I just walk through the doors.
Okay.
Were they engaged in combat with anyone?
No, they were just guarding.
They were just guarding. Okay, that's fine.
They had not. It looks like they had defeated and left unconscious the city guardsmen who were at the gates to the palace, and they'd taken a position.
Gotcha.
You are now inside the palace. You hear more fighting. You also now hear, and also I will also say, Yuri, you do hear this also. In addition to like normal sword fighting, you hear. Well, honestly, you guys have fought enough sorcerers at this point. You actually recognize the sound of magical spells going off.
and mad cackling. Yeah.
Yes,
I love
actually,
the pew 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 pew. Wahahaha.
yeah, pretty much.
I don't sound like that.
Yes, you are not a sorcerer yet. You know magic. There's a difference.
I also imagine it's not quite so throaty that the wahahaha.
That depends, but in this case, no, it's actually pretty high pitch and shrieky.
It's a eunuch.
Yeah,
No.
it's an imperial sorcerer. Yeah, it's a sorcerer of the imperial court. So yes. Whose side he's on, you don't know yet. Yuri.
Mhm.
Actually, I'll get back to you in a second. Zhao. You are heading back towards the palace.
He is heading back towards the palace.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Who are you heading back towards the palace as?
He is going back as Zhao. Like, he needs his imperial authority right now.
Fair enough.
Like he needs to be able to whip out a badge and be like, no, listen to what I have to say. Because if he shows up as Shan Yang, it would be very fun and interesting, but it would also probably make things a lot worse. It would almost certainly be like, oh, Shan Yang's the one behind this. Shan Yang's the one who robbed the imperial treasury. That's why we couldn't make the bribe. And while there's certainly a part of Zhao that kind of would like revel in that kind of like attention and like excitement, he's like, I have to do the job right now. So he is showing up as Zhao.
All right, you're showing up as Zhao. So you arrive at the gates to the outer gates. Which as you arrive, you notice that there's really no fighting going on outside at the moment.
He definitely's like, why is it so quiet again? As he's going up to the gates, he's like,
Well,
"There's no fighting."
as you get close, you do see like city guardsmen and imperial soldiers sort of walking away from the palace, carrying like wounded and such off towards like the medical quarters and such. All of them look kind of sheepish, like they've been given a stern talking to.
Zhao's just kind of like looking at them, like, what is going on? As he keeps going back.
Yeah, you get into the palace, and there's still fighting going on in the courtyard, although there are a fair number. You do see a fair number of people who look like they've been hurled out of the way and such, and a couple of people looking a little bit. A couple of people sort of putting up a fight, only technically. Like, it's very clear that like they are fighting, but only because they're sort of doing it in a perfunctory manner.
Right.
Right. This is the actual way that the peasantry fought in these times. Zhao is just kind of like, this is something I usually have to sneak in to do. What is going on? And he does see a couple people thrown away. He's like, did Batu do this? No, there'd be more bodies. And he's just kind of getting back up to catch up with everybody to find out how did they get in?
All right. And I will say, before you catch up to them, you do get to the gate and the main door into the palace proper. And you see a bunch of unconscious guards, and one Imperial soldier who is sitting down on a chair, clearly having something of an existential crisis.
Incidentally, I was going to say that like the question of how did Yuri get in is more just like a thought experiment than anything else.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yuri.
Mhm.
Sorry, what was that, Sketch?
No, the funnier joke would be she gets into the governor's room and somehow Daolu's already there, like making the bed or something. That'd be the
Sadly, no.
punchline.
This time, no.
Not this time. Maybe next time.
So Yuri, that's where I'm going to leave off with you, Zhao. I want to get you to the scene at least. Yuri, you slip your way into the room. It is still pretty hot, unsurprisingly.
Right.
It is not a pleasant experience, but it is no longer on fire. At least that is something. It is filled with hot steam, however, just not like not filled, but
Yuri knows enough about this situation to put a cloth over her face.
Good. That's a good idea.
It's like that's part of infiltration or something under, stressful circumstances or something.
Yep. All right, so you're in there. Give me a detective roll while you're in there, since I know you're going to want to be investigating.
I'm going to throw fortune on this.
Absolutely. Good fortune die. 19. Excellent. Yeah, the place has been pretty badly burned. And looking at it, it's really clear. You can looking at what's been burned, you are 90% sure this was an intentional fire set. Probably by the governor. The reason I say that is virtually everywhere that might have a hidden compartment or a place to store papers and such is definitely a source area for fire starting.
Someone didn't want the books getting out.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Yeah, no, that.
Somebody used the shredder and threw all the pieces of paper out the window on the top floor of the building.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
There's a lot of charred parchment in here.
Right.
Like, it's pretty clear that, like, someone has made off with a lot of stuff. But, like, there's a lot of stuff that probably couldn't be carried with them, and the stuff that couldn't be carried with them was left behind and burned.
Right.
Also, with that 19 roll, something does occur to you that if one place was set on fire intentionally, maybe both places were set on fire intentionally.
Yeah, that's certainly a thought that was occurring to me as a player. So, obviously this place is like super torched, but maybe something escaped the blaze. Anything happen to be around?
All right, you did roll a 19. Okay, you definitely find something. I just gotta decide what it is. What clue do I'm definitely gonna give you a clue.
I'm a thief. It's my job to find this thing.
Oh no, that's why. And you rolled real well. And you made the correct decision coming here, so I should reward you for that. Which plot thread do I want to give you a clue to? That's the question. All right, you find the remnants of what you are guessing is the sort of governor's journal of sorts. Yeah, he's you can definitely tell he's pretty well off. I mean, he's using actual paper.
Pretty well off.
I mean, he's a governor, like that's right. But yeah, his journal's like entirely paper, like in like high quality paper.
Right, as opposed to parchment. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of stuff that's written is also like written on wooden slats. Also, if it's not like. So, but yeah, this dude, yeah, his journal was definitively like high quality paper. Most of it is burned up, unsurprisingly, but there are a couple of pages that seem to have actually that were not burned up, and it's about like there are like maybe 5 or 6 pages left that didn't actually burn. Several of those, unfortunately, are illegible due to the fact that they got wet when the fire was put out.
Right.
But there are still 2 pages which actually have some information on them. That is legible.
Right.
Most of it is talking about a meeting that the governor had. This is the very recent meeting the governor had with. I'm trying to think of how to phrase this. All right, give me 1 second. I need to
Some sneaky people.
Sorta. Let me find the name here. Yes. With a strange fellow by the name of Han Lin. One second, I need to note something down so I don't forget this.
Okay.
Said that this Han Lin fellow was basically. It sounds like the Han Lin fellow was did not identify themselves. Basically, they was apparently identified themselves as representing the heir to the throne, the heir to the heir to the imperial heir, I should say. And was offering to work out a deal with the governor. If the governor would agree to help the heir out in certain situations. That's the first page you were able to read. Start talking about this meeting. The governor basically implied that he was being non-committal.
Right.
The second page, the last page that's legible, is talking about his upcoming meeting with the generals, and that if all goes well, then he can he can leave. He doesn't have to worry about this Lin fellow because he'll have it in good with the emperor, basically.
Right.
And that, like, yes, while he no longer has the backing of his his brother. If he can pull this off, he'll be in good with the emperor and won't have to worry about things anymore.
Right. So, going back to the first page, seeing as how I have info espionage tactics,
Sure.
this Han individual,
Han Lin, yes.
I can understand why the governor would at least entertain the idea of working with a potential successor to the throne, but this Han seemingly trying to work up allies. Can I piece that to any particular motive that I'm aware of?
You can give me a roll.
8.
Off the top of your head, like, unless like the emperor's heir has a particularly bad relationship with the emperor, you're not entirely sure what's going on there. But unfortunately, you are kind of an outsider, so you're not entirely sure. You might have to talk to someone who might be more in the know.
Yeah, this is definitely something to bring to Zhao's attention.
Certainly.
A conversation for another time.
Yes. All right. That is the information you were able to find.
All right. So, given that there was definitely some track covering going on here, I found something very useful. Yuri is going to... So let me make sure I have like an understanding here. So like we're on the upper floor here, and it's basically just like a spiral staircase or something downward.
Well, basically you're on the top. You're on the sort of the top floor of the palace.
Okay. And
there's staircases going down outside. You're basically there's actually a staircase in the room that leads down to a sort of big, another room on the floor below. Which is sort of the entry room into the governor's suite, which double doors that open out into the main palace that would lead to the stairs going back down the rest of the palace.
Right.
So you're basically in the governor's bedroom, which makes up the entire upper floor.
No, I figured that. Like, that was clear to me.
Yeah, and then it's got stairs down to a sort of a.
Well, this ending from here would be entertaining to surprise someone. I don't need people knowing that I've been up here necessarily.
Fair enough.
So Yuri is just going to pop out the window and is just going to do a short kiting to break or fall, and we'll maneuver to investigate this other source of fire.
Okay, you're going to take a look at the other fire. All right, that's fine. All right, so the rest of you are in the palace, and you all eventually get to an area where you see a big melee fight going on. And I'm going to move to another map so that you guys can see sort of roughly what's going on. You guys decide what you want to do. And I may change what tokens are available here in a second, what are here in a moment, but you basically see what look like, and actually I'm going to change the positioning of some of these tokens here. Hang on. Just to make things a little bit, there we go. So this is sort of in the main area. You see basically what look like a couple of groups of Imperial soldiers who seem to be around two very important looking individuals. You at a guess, probably the generals Gao and So. You opposing them, you see someone whom looks. You see Governor Kong with some of his guardsmen flanking him, and what is very clearly a sorcerer, due to the fact he's throwing bolts of throwing fire bolts and chi bolts and shit like that, surrounded by a bunch of what look like sort of dressed in similar. They look like they're sort of imperial bureaucrats, but they're also doing sort of chanting and casting spells and such also. And the two sides are at odds with one another. You hear over here over here on this side is General Gao. This is General So. Gao is wearing sort of heavier armor, and is wielding a large sword, sort of big, sort of heavy two-handed thing. And So is wielding a very nice looking spear. The governor
Is not.
actually the governor is wielding what looks like a Jian actually.
Oh.
And has been while he's not what I'd call acting like a frontline fighter, he's doing sort of this sneaky bastard thing and sort of hiding behind pillars and such and flinging like darts and such at people here and there. And if anybody gets near him, he stabs them.
Yeah.
I don't like him, but I can't disapprove of the tactics.
Oh no, I mean, you don't see this, Yuri, but if you were told this sounds like he's fighting like a ninja.
Yeah, it's like, wait, hang on. Do I need to be concerned about this?
But you're not there, so.
Mm-hmm.
What do the rest of you do now that you see this? Yeah. By the way, as Olan, Daolu, and Batu are sitting there, sort of watching this, you all hear sort of Zhao sort of sprinting up from behind, sort of catching his breath.
Yeah, Zhao is he's kind of like bending over because he ran to the contact and he ran all the way back.
Oh, Mr. Zhao, you decided to show up. Good.
Hey, so who should we take out first? I say, pointing at the various groups.
Zhao is just kind of holding his side. He's got his hand up, but like one finger up. He's like, I need 1 second. Okay. our replacement is on the way, but he's not going to be here till tomorrow. But the captain of the city guard. He's going to be back by tonight. We have to get this settled before he gets here, or this is going to go way, way worse.
So it's not a matter of who, it's just a matter of what order then.
I mean, you have to settle the fighting in some way, shape, or form, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, well,
There are a number of different ways it can be settled.
it could be possible to turn the soldiers and the guard over to our side with some words, but I fear that the sorcerer might be the most.
Oh yeah, we're definitely gonna have to kill the sorcerer. Those guys are shifty bastards.
Kill or at least take out, yes.
Yeah, Zhao's kind of nodding along. I don't think the governor is going to have much fight in him if we can get his sorcerer down and the guards either on our side or at least out of the fight.
Okay. So I should go kill the sorcerer. Gotcha.
You?
I mean, we could. Does everybody want a piece of him? We can do that.
You seem very insistent on forcing your own solutions to a problem that is outside of your community.
Okay, so what do you think?
Is Batu gentrifying China?
It needs it. Have you seen it down there? Wow. Not one decent horse for leagues.
A kingdom for a horse.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Sketch.
All right.
I've lost my line of thought already, so.
I'm sorry.
Disregard what I've said in that case.
Okay. So I guess that the thing that we'll do then is roll initiative.
I mean, you could always just shout at them and get them to stop fighting long enough to figure out what's going on.
I mean, I might try that, but
I mean, you can do that while rolling for initiative, while in
You
combat.
should probably roll for initiative anyways.
Yeah,
yes.
roll for initiative. Roll for initiative. We can work.
hey, I rolled a 6.
Nice.
I rolled a 6 as well.
All right. Let me.
Yeah, I got an
Seeing
8.
as how I'm not here, should I be doing this?
Yeah, you're not in the fight, so no, you don't need to if you don't want to.
Okay.
As I said, I was prepped for certain things, but yeah. Actually, no. You know what? Roll for initiative. We can have you do investigation stuff on your actions.
Okay.
All right.
12.
Oh, they made it so I can pull the little bar, the character sheet over the chat now. Used to be that it would stop at the edge of the map.
All right. Now I got to roll initiative for the. All right. So. All right, 9 for. Okay, he's on 10. Governor's on 12. Gao's on 12 as well. Good roll. And ooh, So's on 14. Nice. Lackeys. Impressive. excellent roll. The city guardsmen are not rolling well. And the Imperial Guardsmen are the last ones I have to roll for. So... Nine and 12. All right, my highest roll is a 14.
Well, I'm on 8, so lots of people get to do stuff before me.
Yeah, I'm until 9.
Yuri's on 12. Dalu's on 13. Olan is on 15. Olan goes first.
All right. Who is on 14?
General So.
Okay, so one of the Imperials. Okay. That is...
This guy here.
Right, okay. Okay, Olan's going to get set. I'm going to channel my Rippling Death. Spend a chi and 2 shots.
Okay.
So I get +2 martial arts against multiple opponents. So that'll take me down to 13.
Also need to get my initiative tracker out. And I just dropped my pencil. Hooray.
Yay, pencil.
Well, no,
Beat
not
to
yet.
death.
Boo pencil. Boo pencil fell into my recycle bin. I have to find the damn thing. That is a pen that is out of ink. There it is. Got it. All right. And 15 is the highest roll. So that is it for 15. 14, General So. What is General So going to do? General So does not notice, is not particularly aware of you guys yet, so he's not going to try to engage you or do anything. He's going to continue to try to make a move on the governor. So I'll make a roll for him. Actually, hang on. What is your... Okay. So he advances and tries to attack the governor. Rolls a 16. The governor actually was going to use a dodge action, so is therefore not hit. He sort of dives behind a pillar, and the spear sort of glances off the pillar, and the governor sort of scuttles away.
Sneak, sneak, sneak.
Yes.
Dodgy little bastard.
Yes, he is. That is it for 14. 13.
That's
Who else is on 13?
That's me now, again. So
Okay.
That is you again. I think someone else is on 13, if I remember.
I'm on 13
Yes.
as well.
All right. Lon's going to, while the governor is, I guess, skirting around this column, she's going to go up to the guards. She's got her sword in hand, and she's going to say, "You need to stop this. You're going to all be killed for nothing. The governor cares nothing for your lives. He would stab you on the back to save his own skin. This is not your fight. You need to stop." And I don't really have any social skills other than intimidation.
Give me a roll.
I mean, like,
listen,
if there's only one...
I mean,
everything's a threat when you're holding a sword. So.
Pretty much.
Yeah, if there's only one tool, everything looks like an intimidation check.
Yeah, I rolled a 14 with intimidation.
All right, you rolled a 14 with your intimidation. While you do that, you hear the sword say, "No, the governor totally wouldn't sell you guys out. He totally wouldn't stab you in the back."
As the governor hides his second sword, which is for backstabbing.
We'll make a willpower roll for the guards.
Yes!
A 3.
Oh my gosh, you beat him by 10 again.
Beat it by 11, actually. By 11, I think, actually.
Well, by over 10 again. It's just like,
Well,
Just spooky.
Olan is the scariest woman on the planet.
These are the least motivated guards I've ever seen.
I mean, to be fair, the governor really has given them any real good reason to be loyal.
Yeah.
It's easy to convince someone of something if you're correct about it.
Well,
Easier,
I don't know
sometimes.
about
easier,
Well,
easier.
I was
Yes.
gonna say, like,
I was
don't
going
know.
to say,
There's a lot of vaccination deniers out there. So
Mm-hmm. All right. So that's fun.
All right, so well, the guards will have something to think about when it comes to their turn.
okay.
Let's just say, at worst, I'm going to definitely say they lose their action thinking. That's the worst action result you're getting. I'm not saying what happens yet.
Okay. Cool.
All right, Dalu, what are you doing?
So I've been trying to think of what would be a narratively appropriate flag, because I want to use like a pole with a pole with a flag attached to it,
Sure.
as a weapon. What would be the most narratively either ironic or appropriate one to use in the context of this fight? Is all I'm trying to think.
I
of.
honestly don't know. To be perfectly honest.
I'm just any suggestions would be appreciated on that front.
I would
there.
definitely say that there's probably some Imperial soldiers that had a flag here at
But
some point.
No. My point is not to say who I'm taking it from. I'm just saying what is on the flag that'd be narratively appropriate for going after the sorcerer. I guess.
I think it should be a red flag with some stars in a semicircle in the corner with a yellow turban.
Oh God, no.
No. The closest thing I'm thinking of what would be the quote unquote town flag, as it were.
Oh, if you want
So
if you want just the flag of the city itself, that's
yeah.
There you go.
So
I like that.
the symbology of the city fighting back against the sorcerer
There you
is
go.
the main
All right,
thing
cool.
here. So standard Daolu opening volley of pole vaulting into someone's face as much as he can.
all right. Yeah,
Well,
you come
like grabbing
you come running
yeah.
up and vault at the sorcerer.
Yeah, vaulting at the sorcerer and attempting to do an attack that way. It's just,
All good.
It's like,
The sorcerer does not see this coming and will not dodge.
all right, so let's get that 19 roll with fortune going on here.
Yeah,
Just
he's in trouble.
that's only a 25. Only.
Oh.
His defense is 14, so you beat it by 11.
Okay.
So yeah,
Well, we'll say this is the regular improvised weapon in this case here.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Or
that's
you
it.
want- yeah, not a large, because that would just be giving me too much credit for this here. So we'll say that the smackdown is 20.
Oh, he's got a
it's like-
toughness of 6.
Yeah.
Conk.
Yeah. And oh no, his toughness is 4 because it's the first time. I've
Oh
hit.
yeah, right. First hit. You're right.
So
you
that's
are
a
correct.
16. There's a 16 on it. Daolu does this,
That is 16 wound points dealt.
probably declaring, something to the effect of this city belongs to the people who live in it, not in those, not who live in it, and should be, and and
The city belongs to the citizens.
the city belongs to the citizens, and efforts to threaten the citizenry should be viewed as treasonous, effectively. That's how Daolu is sort of presenting his opening volley.
Sure, I can see that.
While being surrounded by the lackeys, of course.
Well, yeah.
I would basically say Daolu is here.
Fair.
in
That is
a
fair.
highly dangerous position.
Absolutely fair.
That is the opening gesture in this case. here.
Anyone else on 13? If no, then we go into 12.
I'm on 12.
All right, Yuri, you go. The governor goes, and some of the Imperial soldiers go, and General Gao goes on 12 also.
Go ahead and do the fighting thing since I'm
Sure, that is fair.
since I'm playing.
Are any
Decker
player
right
characters on
now.
12?
Yeah, I'm playing Decker right now, so just handle everyone else for the moment.
That is totally fair. All right. Therefore, well, you've now garnered the attention of the Imperials and everybody.
Yeah, like through two different methods, like
Yeah.
I like the idea of Olan trying to work the guards and then Daolu distracting everyone else.
All right. Well. All right. General Gao is acting now, so he's going to say he gets his say. Ah. It seems we have assistance in apprehending the corrupt governor here. Excellent. Please do help. Do force the sorcerer to stand down and apprehend the governor. He has much to pay for. He says this as he advances on. He advances on the sorcerer as well. He comes wading in to try and assist Daolu.
Daolu's not going to like this, so. But he can proceed if he wishes.
He swings his sword at the sorcerer.
Okay.
16. All right. So it's a 16, so it hits by 2. And okay, the sorcerer will take it, I guess. So that would be 12 damage minus his toughness of 6 is another 6 1 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ouch. The sorcerer did not unfortunately roll well for initiative. Despite
unfortunately for him, maybe.
Well, yes. His speed's not his speed's 9. Like he should have done better than a 10.
Oh wow. Rolled 9.
Yep.
He rolled a 1. It happens.
That's a situation that I am familiar with and loathe.
All right. The governor goes on 12 as well. So I'm going to say this. The governor rolled initiative 12. Remember that he dodged. He's acting on 12.
Okay.
I was kind of wondering about that.
Free dodging. Okay.
Yep. So he goes. You all notice that you sort of lose track of where the governor is for a moment.
Oh, geez. I kind of wish Yuri was here right now because I think she'd actually be afraid.
And then a flurry of from behind another pillar, a flurry of darts are flung at General Gao.
My chicken.
Double check the. Oh yeah, right.
Gao, not Zhao.
General Gao, yes.
Yeah, Gao. Yeah.
The General Gao, yes.
Yeah.
Actually, hang on. I'm going to. Hey, 21.
It's pretty good.
His fortune die was okay, but he rolled pretty well though.
That's also a pretty good attack roll.
It is. Yep. General Gao's defense is 15, so it hits by 6. So that's 11 wound points minus his toughness of 8 is 3 wound points. However, General Gao has to make a Constitution check. General Gao is poisoned. All right, and that is it for the governor. He's sort of over here-ish now.
I'm going to stand over here.
That is it for him. He goes again on 9. And there's fighting going on between the Imperial soldiers and some of the sorceress lackeys. Nothing consequential. I'm not going to roll for that right now. I will not be rolling for the rolling attacks for the minions unless they are attacking someone named, basically.
Okay.
Just to speed things up.
Understandable.
Yuri, what are you doing?
So I said Yuri is going to head to.
Oh, sorry, I forgot. The
that,
city guards. What are they doing? They're on 12.
All right.
Right. Well, they all sort of they're clearly all like they hear what Olan says, sort of look at each other, sort of like you just hear them whispering to each other. They look around, realize the governor has disappeared from where they were guarding him, and you can tell they all have a "oh to hell with this asshole" look on their faces.
Why did he teach us that trick, huh? Jeez.
Well, more the case that it's very clear that he's left that like. The Imperial Guards, the Imperial soldiers across from them and General So are bearing down on them, and the governor has just ditched them. They're like, yeah, okay. They do nothing. They all back off a bit. Like they're clearly sort of in a defensive position. Like but they're not fighting back. They're just sort of backing off defensively. They're just saying, nope. Hey, we are, the governor's not paying us enough for this. What do you mean the governor's not paying you enough for this? The governor is very generous and has always, been one to take care of the people who work for him.
Look at me.
This, by the way, is the sorcerer again, unsurprisingly.
This sorcerer is really bad at propaganda.
It's not really his job.
I'm a sorcerer, not a propagandist,
Just like very reactive propaganda every time you get someone who's like, oh, the government sucks. And like, no, he doesn't. What are you talking about?
I see. It's the gaslighting propaganda approach. Got it.
Yeah, basically.
Water is wet. Actually, it isn't. Oh shit, he's actually right for once. Anyways.
All right, that is it for 12, I guess. Oh no, Yuri, right? Yuri, sorry.
So I'd said that Yuri was going to be investigating the other thing that was on fire because
Right.
there might be some
You were investigating a
there.
storehouse.
Yes.
All right, you can sort of pop in there. Give me a detective roll, and we'll start talking about what you see.
Alrighty. Gonna fortune this.
Sure. 28. Okay.
28.
Sure.
Yuri is good at scavenging ruins.
All right. Well,
I prefer the term treasure hunter.
All right. You look around the place. It's very this. By the way, this is very clearly arson. Like no question. You're just not sure why someone would bother setting fire to a storehouse that is, like you can tell why the storehouse sort of, basically exploded.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's largely storing foodstuffs.
A grain silo principle.
Basically, yeah. Someone basically set a flame in an area which was filled with, the dust from the buckwheat flour and such.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Flour explosion. But it's like, why the hell would they blow? Would they set an explosion here? Like you were seeing nothing to indicate. Like this is very clearly okay. There's nothing here nothing that would be used to cover tracks. Like there's no tracks to cover here. There's nothing of super value they would want to nick from here that they'd hide. Literally, the only thing you can think of, reason that you could think of that they would blow up a storehouse like here is as a distraction.
Mm-hmm.
I was kind of coming to the conclusion like, okay, if I were to want to be doing this, why would I be doing this?
Yep.
Because
Wait
this doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. This doesn't add up. Okay, so someone's doing a distraction. Why do we have a distraction?
Wait a minute. This isn't the governor at all.
It's Kermit the Frog again. Damn it.
That was me out of character having an epiphany. So.
No. Just like the idea, just like we look at the you realize you see through the veil the illusion, and you realize it's just Kermit. Yeah, just like and he just runs away, arms flailing.
I don't know if Olan would have the thought that I just did, but that's the thought that I just had. So
wait a minute, this is not the governor at all. I have no idea what you're talking about, Nick. It's totally the governor.
This isn't the first time you've done this to me specifically. I remember the 2 fake ships in Star Wars Feng Shui.
Well, it's good that one of us does, or three of us, two of us do, because I know Fournier also remembers that.
Anyways,
Oh, say. So yeah, Yuri's going to basically conclude this is a distraction. Who's making a distraction? Why would you make a distraction? So that the info burning went uninterrupted. That was probably the second fire that was set. In which case, someone is doing something practiced. They know what they're doing. This isn't desperate. This is something one would do if trained in. Oh no. Yuri has a pang of anxiety that she is going to admit to no one.
This is like the ancient Chinese equivalent of like rigging your property with make it look like an electrical fire.
So seeing as though there's nothing to be found here, and things are looking a little too close to how she would handle this situation if she were in the governor's position. She's going to scuttle off towards where all the fighting is.
okay.
Because she needs to verify something.
Okay, fair enough. I will tell you when you get there.
Probably shot 9, maybe.
Either 9 or 6, basically. It might take you two actions to get there.
I did roll super high on this, so my investigation was probably fast.
It was, but like you have to cover a fair bit of distance in
Fair enough.
And we're talking about we're talking about a distance, talking about like 8 to 9 seconds, which in Kung Fu time is like, half an hour, depending on
But yeah, you figured. By the way, yeah, you could also. By the way, also Yuri, you were able to piece together how the fire was set. Like it definitely was set up as a it's sort of there's like a fuse. There was almost certainly a fuse. This was a timed setup basically.
Right. Yeah. So no, this is a way too specific to be a coincidence.
Oh yeah, no. All right, so that's it for 12. 11. That'll be General So and anybody else on 11. All right, General So it is then. General So is sort of saying, "What? He's over there now." All right, men, you keep an eye on those guards. Don't leave them be unless they decide to actually fight. But it looks like they are being sensible. You, Governor, stand down! And he goes vaulting after him.
The governor's hanging from the awnings.
Spry guy, isn't he?
Well, he's got reach. It's a big thing. So
No. I remember.
the governor, yeah. Oh no, the governor seems very nimble and quick. Like
the governor in inverted commas.
It's totally the governor.
Yeah, I was gonna say this does not sound like the governor that was described was back when.
What? No.
Yeah, we met his brother.
I mean, his brother is really, really, really athletic. Maybe some of it rubbed off on him,
Ooh, a 17. Sadly, the governor backflips out of reach of the spear and hides behind another pillar. Kita! All right. That is it for 11, as far as I'm aware. 10.
I can go.
Same as Dalu, yes.
All right. I think I'll try and clear the way for you then.
Clear the way for me. I'm already at the sorcerer.
Yeah, but I'm gonna make sure that the guys around you don't try and stop you. Okay, let's see. Defense 7. I get +2, 5. Targets 12. That should be safe. Okay. I am going to try and take out the 5 sorcerer guys.
Okay.
Surrounding the sorcerer.
Sure.
Let me just confirm here. My martial arts is...
They are not particularly defensive. I'll just put it that way.
Right. Okay. This should be safe. Okay, I get a +2 to this.
When did the lackeys go? That's a good question.
Wow, that's a very bad roll. Okay, I did not weigh awful, but
Yeah, I double exploded the negative. Okay. I'm glad I did not use a fortune die on that because it would not have helped. So
No.
that's not a way awful. I'm okay.
So you come in blade
Little
flashing, and the
vacation.
mooks sort of the lackeys all going but they manage to barely get out of the way.
Gotcha.
Like, some passive uses of defensive spells and such, and like
Listen, I had to use all my good rolls on intimidating. Okay.
fair.
That's what a swordswoman does. She intimidates. She doesn't sword fight. What are you talking about?
That's ridiculous.
She doesn't sword around like swording is a verb or something.
Yeah. All right. All right. So that's who else is on 10?
That would be me.
All right, Dalu,
Continuing the beat down on the sorcerer.
who really wishes he rolled better than he did.
That's fair. Back down. I should have rolled an 18 last time instead of a 19. Doesn't make a big difference in the grand scheme of things.
I'll
Just
give him a
plus
hit point
one.
back.
Yeah, give him 1 hit point back on that point there because my base is 15 for martial arts. It's just I always put it at 16 at base because I'm always grabbing new weapons pretty much there.
Right.
21. Wow. 5, 5, and 5 are the 3 rolls on there, which is very funny.
21, you say. Well, it hits by 7.
Okay. So that would be 16 for the smackdown.
Okay, so this time it's only 10 wound points. Sorry, 9. No, I think it's 10 actually. It is 10. Yep. I moused over the wrong thing. Wrong thing. All right, so it's another 10. wound points.
Dao Lu will also look over at General Gao and it will say, don't think that your aid here will diminish my assertion towards you and your men as well for the chaos that has been inflicted upon the town here.
The general looks very confused.
Because my understanding, like the fighting that was happening in the town was between Imperial soldiers and city guards, right?
Yep. Oh no.
So-
That you are 100% correct. He just does not understand why you're correct at the moment.
Yeah. So so I want to make sure that I didn't misunderstand the situation here.
No.
Like,
Yeah, he's got that look of, but we're,
Yeah.
But we're the good guys.
Dao Lu is like this thing is here. Dao Lu doesn't so much care that the governor is fake. I'm sorry, the governor is totally real. Dao Lu cares less about that, more that like, oh look, the day-by-day goings of the commoners has been disrupted.
Oh, yeah.
in
No.
part
the generals do not understand why that's a problem at the moment.
he's gonna get punched soon enough. Is the point here?
Oh, totally fair. The general is focused on something else entirely different.
It's like
It is why he's like, well, wait, we're the imperial authorities. We are clearly in the right.
all right, that's Dao Lu.
That's how things work in China. Anyone else on 10?
Don't think so.
All right, that means it's onto my dudes. God, the lackeys rolled really badly for their initiative.
Amazing.
How did they roll? They can't roll that. Did I roll the wrong number for them? Hang on.
So while there's a
Maybe
lot
the
of
most
things I like
possible
about the
initiative.
Big Bruiser, the inability to do anything for 3/4 of a combat really sucks.
Yeah,
No one's attacked you yet. Is the problem?
Yeah.
unfortunately, like you've got a really good trick to boost you up, but
Yeah, it requires to actually draw aggro, and I haven't had a chance to do that yet.
The initiative handling in this is one of the things about Feng Shui that's always kind of a weird spot. Like the initiative handling makes sense, but it can create a lot of the variance is extremely high.
the variance is especially high on people with lower speeds.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
When your speed is like for example, Batu who's speed 6 if I remember correctly.
Speed 5.
Speed 5. Oh god, your speed is
Yeah.
lower than the maximum you
I
can
thought
roll.
you raised that.
Nope.
Not
I
yet.
picked up horse stance instead because it was a
Oh,
more
I might be
use.
thinking of war cost.
I think you're thinking of Vorkos.
Vorkos had decent speed. He's a bounty hunter. The
Yeah.
problem, the big bruiser's biggest problem is his low speed, like definitively. Like
It's a weakness. There's a lot of things I like about the big bruiser, but whoo boy does the low speed suck.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I hear you. All right. Where was it going? All right. So yes, sorcerer. All right. All right. The sorcerer is. Oh, I know what he should have done there. I made a mistake there.
To put it in clarity, if I roll my worst and you roll your best, Eric, you get to be one ahead of me. So
Yep.
All right. So I said you did 10 wound points, right?
For me, yes.
Okay. I've screwed up. I forgot something that the sorcerer can do. The sorcerer throws one of his doomed lackeys in front of your attack.
I was
doomed
waiting for
lackeys.
this. It's the Mecha GM special.
Well, also, it is there's literally a card in Feng Shui called Doom Lackey, in the Shadowfist card game called Doomed Lackey.
Lucky. I mean, honestly, it's such a good villain shtick.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're
Whatever system, like throwing lackeys in the way.
I don't do it. I use it a fair bit, but I don't use it all the time. Because
Yeah.
I like it as for certain villains.
Yeah.
This guy very clearly has it. All right, so he's basically as you're attacking him, Delu, he steps behind his lackey, so to one of the lackeys, so you clock him unconscious as he steps back and unleashes a torrent of magic at you.
Sure, why not?
All right. What's he gonna go for?
I'll preemptively refuse to dodge.
Fair. He is going to use a fortune die on this also.
Don't
Since he
think he
gets
can
one.
scare me. Like, don't think he can scare me with.
All
with
right.
This.
He's going to open up with. He's just going to continue throwing fireballs. But he basically steps back and conjures a larger than average fireball. i.e., this is a fortune die.
Got it. All right.
And hurls it at you.
oh dear.
A 28.
Oof.
13 is the swerve.
Yep. All right. Therefore, the smackdown is 23.
Toughness 6. That's 17 wound points?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
That was it.
Hadouken.
Daolu will get singed, but like look with a bit more malice towards he's less upset about the fireball and more upset by the cowardice of the sorcerer.
Absolutely
Oh,
fair.
All right. That's fine.
All right. Is that it for 10? I think it might be. All right. Sorcerer goes again on 7. All right. So I rolled the initiative for the doomed lackeys is not on 7. They can't roll that low. They did roll a 1. So they go on 8.
Hooray! My average roll.
Their speed 7 and they rolled a 1. All right. That's it for 10. 9.
That would be me, and I think Yuri.
I am indeterminate in this moment.
Yuri, you are booking it towards where the fight's happening.
Run, run, run. Hurry, hurry, hurry.
Give me a martial arts roll.
All right.
14. Okay, that's definitely good
I
enough.
rolled positive on martial arts for the first time in actual months.
All right, Yuri, you roll. So you are able to vault over, you sort of vault over, you basically get to parkour your way and shave off you will get there on segment 6, basically.
Okay.
You were basically you've shaved off like a full 3-shot action, basically. All right, that is anyone else. So Zhao, you're up.
So Zhao has seen the governor book it, and he's like, "Okay, this needs to be ended decisively, really soon." And he just starts going after him, and if he gets within sight, he unloads an arrow at him from his crossbow.
Okay, you fire. You get line of sight to shoot him. Sure.
So I'm gonna eagle eye this for 3.
Okay.
So, and then I'm gonna fortune die. So this plus 3.
Eagle eye.
So 19.
19. That's an excellent roll. That will actually hit. All right, so you notice that he basically he's he's sort of trying to dodge the attack, and the way he's trying to dodge it, he tries to catch the bolt out of the air. And you manage to basically, he just times it just barely wrong, and the bolt sort of skins across his shoulder. You hit by 1. I'm sorry, rolled a 19, you said?
The 19, and because I've smoke arrow, he is now impaired.
Yep, that's fine. Okay, so you hit by yep, that's it. This dodge, yep, that hits by 1.
As the arrow hits Zhao flashes his embroidered uniform guard badge. He's like, by order of the Emperor, stand down.
He's an imposter! Ignore him! Sorcerer's tried, man. All right, so you hit by 1. How much damage are you doing?
So I hit by 1. The arrow is 7.
So it's 8 damage. Smackdown of 8, and his toughness is 7. So you do a 1 point. The important point is you actually got a point of impairment on him from the smoke arrow.
Oh yeah, that's gonna make it a lot easier to.
Yes, it will. Especially with his bullshit-free dodges. Basically, he's just he's got higher defense than normal. Effectively, it's just that I'm flavoring it as free dodges and not using, and basically not using dodge actions for it.
All right.
I just gave him high defense.
So, and because of the eagle eye, I will be acting on 3 instead of 6.
Yep. All right. Anyone else on 9? Oh, the governor goes on 9 now. Although, yeah. So you nicked him, and he goes. He sort of narrows his eyes, backflips behind another pillar, and flings a flurry of darts at Zhao.
All right.
Like a flurry of throwing items at Zhao.
Okay.
He's going to roll to hit. Does an 18 hit you?
It does. I have a test of 13, so this word is 5.
All right, so that is a 10 damage.
So 10 damage. Because these are darts, can I use my armor for this?
Sure.
All right, I'm going to use my thunk, so I get plus 5 to the toughness.
Okay, so you do not take damage then, correct?
I believe that is correct.
Okay, then you do not have to make a Constitution roll.
Yeah, so like Zhao was
the poison
actually,
darts do not hurt you.
Yeah, the poison darts just hit him in the chest, and he just kind of flips back his silk, and it has this armor underneath it.
You hear a sort of a self-annoyed sort of click of the tongue from the governor as he vaults behind another pillar. You can tell he's like, of course they're wearing armor. All right. Okay, the General Gao's soldiers attempt to attack the lackeys in defensive exchange there at the moment. The other group of soldiers basically just sort of keep wary eyeing the city guards. The guards have basically decided we are not in this. We are no longer in this fight. And that is it for 9. 8.
Hooray!
Batu gets to go. Hooray!
So with all his jumping and hopping around, like Batu sort of goes, "Gonna go behind a pillar, isn't he?" Sort of at some point during all this, sort of stepped over to a pillar and waited for the governor to flip behind it. And he's just sort of sitting there with the clubs, like, "Hey, buddy, how's it going?"
Thumbs up. Also, you move while you may not your speed's low, your base movement is very high. If I was actually
Yes.
you cover a lot of ground when you do get to move. So yes,
Burn a fortune die for this.
I'm shocked. Shocked, I say.
Oh, that's probably not going to hit him, even with my establishing shot of +2.
13 will not hit the governor.
Yeah.
So basically, you go, hey there, swing down. The governor sort of looks up and goes, you hear a what is very clearly a curse word of some sort that you do not actually recognize as he vaults out of the way.
I take a good chunk of the pillar
And
with
yes,
the club.
you break a chunk off the pillar. Yep, at roughly head level.
I'm here to eat dumplings and smash hierarchies. This fucker's making it both difficult.
Fair. Anyone else on 8? I'll take that as a no. All right. The sorcerer's lackeys get to actually finally act.
All right.
They start chanting in unison.
Well, 4 of them do at least. The
Yes.
one of them is
One of them is very
taking-
unconscious.
Yeah.
You know, Yumo Gui Ji Zhao, I think is the. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm glad someone recognized it.
One more thing.
Yep.
Like, I recognize what you're doing, but I couldn't tell you what the words are.
I can't. Yeah, I
I
don't.
do not- I
I've
do
forgotten
not have
some of
enough
them.
experience with that show.
Yep. It's the It's Uncle's universal chi spell. All right. Who are they going to cast their combined attack on? It's either Daolu or Batu, I'd say. Also, move Batu up here somewhere because Batu's sort of up there somewhere.
Yeah. Well, Daolu is in the middle of all. of them,
Daolu's right
so-
in the middle of them, so yeah, I think he's gonna go. They're gonna go for Daolu here.
Okay.
All right, so it's base attack of 11 plus 1 for each additional member who's assisting effectively.
Okay.
So it's a 14.
All right, let's see it.
Hey!
So they attempt to light you on fire. You vault up out of the way of the fire bolts, and so there's a big fire explosion where you were standing.
I like to think the idea is that while there was still smoke billowing from the first fireball attack, they try to attack the same spot.
Pretty
But
much.
by this point, Daolu has already climbed up or vaulted up with the
Absolutely.
flagpole.
Absolutely. Alas and alack, they were unable to pull off their attack.
If you want to go particularly silly, there is a mistake. There's actually a mistake that was done in the editing where the flag was actually replaced with a West Virginia flag for some reason. They're not even filming in that region. I'm not sure why that flag showed up on set, but you know.
Yeah.
The idea of a Chinese movie filming in West Virginia is great, actually.
All right,
I think it's even funnier just being like, what is this flag even doing on set? Why is it in Hong Kong?
we're moving on to 7.
The director has hobbies.
All right. Well, Olan, do you want to go first or should I go first?
I think that I should, just because if you attack the sorcerer, he'll do that thing again. So I will just try and attack the 4 remaining ones and hope that I don't get a really bad result this time.
Okay, you're trying to take out the minions. Okay, good.
So, I mean, it's always possible, but we'll give it a go. Okay, so that's actually a 15 then, which even without the +2, I think it's enough because it's 7 + 4, right? So
Yeah, they are not dodgy. So yeah, they are.
so she'll kind of bonk, 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 with the hilt of her sword and just dart between them and hit people in the jaws and guts and stuff. And make sure that they can't fireball Daolu anymore.
Yep. Well, they are out of the fight. It sounds like you're going non-lethal, which means they're going to be very surprised when they all wake up.
Right. And that means that I get a few points on my bloodied blade.
Yep.
My blinded
Finally, yeah.
blade, so.
Yeah.
Well, I did the thing where I talked to the people I could have taken out of the
I
other
know.
group out. So
Yeah, it's like you've engaged in diplomacy. Your bloody blade remains unsatisfied.
yeah, what am I gonna do? Go over to the guards now and be like, "I'm sorry," and just kind of pop, 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 pop.
By the way, can you look that other direction for now? I'm gonna bludgeon you all. All right.
I have seen players who would do something along those lines. I've not actually had them in my group, so.
All right.
I mean, they're still members of an unaddressed hierarchy. I think they're fair game.
I guess I need to have to do a kabong maneuver on the sorcerer.
Okay.
This is the last time I can use his weapon, so it's gonna be, if it hits, it's gonna be molded around the head of the sorcerer, being
Fair
rendered
enough.
useless. Fortune die number 3, as he comes down from the air to try to slam this on top. That is just a 20.
Well, that will still hit, so it hits by 6.
So that will be a smackdown of 15.
That is 9 wound points.
And the pole, shatters or gets warped, and Dawu, lands on the ground in front of the sorcerer. And, it sort of,
He might be a little impaired.
just sort of stare him down, and it's like, surrender is an option. I have a feeling that my fellows may not be as generous as I was giving you a chance to surrender yourself.
General Gauss sort of says, If he wishes to stand down, he will face a fair trial. I give my word on that.
Brackets show up around the words "fair" and "my word."
I mean, by his standards, it'll probably be perfectly fair.
Hell, he's offering him a trial at all.
That is a good point.
Technically speaking, he outranks him enough. He probably could just have him beheaded. Chinese bureaucracy in this area is pretty harsh. Anywho, that is it for 7, I think. Well, no, the sorcerer gets to go on 7.
I can't improvise weapon one of his fireballs if he misses me. I can't pick it up and use it.
No, that's
against him,
unfortunately true. Okay, so the sorcerer has a look on his face of, boy, howdy, he'd like to actually comply. But he sort of glances over at the governor and sort of looks over at him, swallows, steps back and says, I'm afraid that I cannot comply with your obviously most generous offer.
Well, at least you recognize it's generous.
So he steps back and attempts to fireball Daolu again.
Yeah, go for it.
So normally he'd be rolling 16, I think? No, 17 normally. Sadly, he's impaired. It's a 19.
That hits by 4.
All right, so that's 14 damage.
Okay, so that's just 8.
Yep.
That puts me at 25.
He's got a very high action value, so the 2 points of impairment he's at is not the best.
Yeah. So Daolu's at 25 now.
Ooh, you got a point of impairment.
That's right.
1. All right, I think that's it for 7, however.
You'll need to remind me about that when the time comes, but we'll get there.
Yep. All right. All right. Therefore, we are on to, I believe, 6. Yeah, we're on to 6.
Yuri
Yuri
it's
arrives. on the scene. So you're now on the scene. That your action for this round is arrive, basically.
Yeah.
Anyone else on 6?
Oh, I thought since I rolled well, I would be able to act upon arrival.
No, you would
Yeah.
you would be arriving on 3 otherwise.
Okay.
You are able to. Sorry, you won't be able to make an attack. It's a 3-shot move to get here, but you can. Actually, you know what? You can take range attacks. You just won't be able to move next to anybody. I know
So,
you do. You do
rather than do an attack.
Yep.
Dipping into
You can also make a lot of skill rolls.
the
you can make.
recesses of her training,
Yep.
she's going to throw out a code phrase in Japanese.
Okay.
And it's basically a way of signaling, I'm with you, and see if anyone responds.
All right. You shout it out. I would like you to give me a detective roll.
Not deceit.
Or no, you
Granted,
can use
they're
this.
the
No,
same.
you could use whichever's. This is sort of a perception roll for this. You could use either,
Sure.
whichever's better.
They're the same.
Okay.
Yeah, fortune die.
That's
Bad fortune die. Ew.
9. All right.
I suppose it's a good thing I did that. Otherwise, that would have been like a negative explosion.
Well, maybe
Then it would have been 1-1, and then
that would not have been an explosion. A negative only explodes on 6.
oh yeah, they're right. Well, still.
Yeah,
All
you would have had a
right,
12 instead of a 9.
Hang on 1 second. I need to look something up.
If the timing of the RNG was just so, it would have been
So I'm making a contested deceit roll for somebody.
All right.
All right.
And I'm just going to state
All right.
for a record.
The 12 does beat your 9. So you do not notice anybody respond to it.
Yeah, so I'm just going to state openly that I, the player, recognize that this is a phenomenally stupid idea for Yuri to be engaging in.
Mm-hmm.
She's not thinking straight right now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
All right.
I was.
She is genuinely operating out of terror right now.
All right. All right. So that was Yuri. So yeah, that is a perfectly valid option for you. You might be making another roll in a bit. We'll see.
Okay.
What am I doing? Anyone else on 6?
I would have been, but I am on 3 right now.
Oh right, yeah, you would have been on this. Anyone, no one else on 6? All right. Well, then the quote governor gets to go. End quote. All right. So the governor, who is currently hiding behind one pillar, seemingly disappears from sight and appears behind Batu and attempts to stab Batu with his sword. Batu, you may not dodge. You may not actively dodge, which is no.
I may not actively dodge.
No.
Okay, well my defense is 12, so hits me exactly.
He hasn't rolled yet.
Oh, okay.
That was his deceit roll to
roll.
that was his deceit roll to not show a response to Yuri.
Oh, okay.
Okay, 23.
Yeah, okay.
This is the first attack against you this combat by him.
Right.
With his, so therefore your toughness is effectively 4.
Yep.
That's not fair.
Hey, that's what, I got to use that on the sorcerer. So yeah,
Yeah,
unfortunately,
but
you had to
that's
take.
different. He only had a toughness of 6. Mine is 12.
I mean, no, it's clearly 4. It's written on the sheet here.
All right, so
See, there's a post-it note on it and everything.
I'll say this, Eric. It's almost like he's a ninja.
I'm a ninja.
That hits you by 11. Damage is 10. So 20. So 21 minus 4.
So 17. Wow, you got the same opening volley I got, Batu.
So you take 17 wound points, and I would like you to make a Constitution check.
I think I get the +3 to that.
You
for
do.
The yep. What kind of roll is that?
Constitution is God. I think it's unless you got a separate Constitution listed, it's usually 7, so it's effectively a 10 for you.
All right, so like will, notice, strength. Okay.
Yeah.
7 plus 3 is 10.
10. Ah, well, all right. 10. You made the check exactly. You are not poisoned. Yuri. You've seen that technique before. Like that sort of, you've not seen anyone from China do that. Like, you've seen Daolu do something similar, but like not with that sort of, move without shadow type shit on top of the, friend of shadow stab.
Yuri's brain is kind of running at 10 million miles per hour. And
I'll put it this way: you are 99% sure that is not the governor.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, she's operating on pure terror right now.
That is fair.
And like, she's not generally one to catastrophize. She's catastrophizing right now.
Okay, fair.
No. Things are going so well. They're going to come at me. They're going to kill me. I'm going to ruin everything. Just can't even form a sentence in her head.
Fair. All right, Ulan's over here, by the way. I forgot. Okay.
Yeah, I haven't really been moving her around at all.
I just remember that you'd be sort of roughly over there. All right. That is it for 6, I believe. 5.
Hooray!
Yep, you get to go.
Sort of go. Oh, what is it with this fucking family?
Fair.
What?
They deserve it.
Because he thinks that it's the martial
Because I haven't caught into that it's not the governor yet.
And
So-
the governor's brother did actually hurt Batu.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
So
okay.
I grab his hand that he just stuck me with, and I proceed to try to pound him into the dirt.
Okay.
Let's Iraqi this dude.
With the fortune die.
I see you're using the. Oh dear lord.
Oh!
All right,
That's
so
plus 1 because I missed, so that's a 26.
all right, so Batu uses the rib catches sword technique.
Yeah, he's toasening him.
It's like that orc from Return of the King. Not Return of the King, Fellowship of the Ring.
Yep.
Yeah, but he died immediately.
Yeah.
I, being cool, don't die as a result of this.
Yeah, if that orc had just been a little
I will say
cooler,
this.
he would have won that fight.
Rib catches sword technique is something covered in one of the Feng Shui games I ran with my Thursday crew, and my friend Joey was playing a Shaolin master who would routinely get hit by attacks and then obliterate the person immediately thereafter.
The Heihachi counter.
Yeah.
So 25. So his defense is
26 because of
26. All right, yeah.
Fury.
His defense is normally 18 because this is the auto dodge.
Right.
But he's impaired, so it's a 17.
Okay.
So you hit by 9.
Plus
Also,
16 for my damage.
plus 16 for damage, yes. Is 25 wound points. All right, well, yeah, that's a lot.
Basically, immediate impairment, just like, oh.
Well, no, he gets his toughness of 6, please.
No, I demand equality here. He gets a toughness of 4.
You're not a ninja.
No, wait, he gets a toughness of 2 because it's a third of his toughness.
All right, so you did what do we say? 25 damage, yeah. So 19. Ow.
Definitely came ahead on that one.
Well, yes. His plan was to poison you more than anything. I was not expecting you to do that much damage.
Well, he was also like, surely he'll die after I do this.
Stab! Why is he alive?
Oh no, I just got green knighted.
Also, why is my sword stuck in... Oh, dear. Rutrow. Rutrow Raggy. All right. So you clobber him. And as you clobber him, you clobber him in the side of the head. He rolls it enough to not be knocked unconscious, basically. However, you have dislodged his fake mustache and Fu Manchu.
His Groucho Marx glasses.
Basically, yeah.
Wait a minute, that's not the governor at all.
Also, his wig falls off. Yeah, he looks. Now that you get a better look at him, like he looks a little doesn't look a little. He looks a little different than most Chinese folk you had a good look at up close, Batu, facially.
The wig falls off, a sign of Mongolian pattern. The wig falls off, a sign of Mongolian pattern baldness. I see.
No, he's actually. I will say he is bald. He shaves his head. Most of us who can wear wigs like easily. Like
no. That's I get that. I'm just making the joke about like.
Oh no, I
had to make the wordplay.
Yeah, Mongolian pattern baldness.
It's funny. I like it.
I like it too.
All right. All right. Well, that is it for. I think. Well, is there anybody else on 5? Yes, General So's on 5. General So's like, wait, that's not Governor Kong. Who is that? It's an imposter.
In a minute.
He looks over at the sorcerer. Where's the governor? I have no idea. I thought that was the governor.
Wow, that was the worst lie I've ever heard.
Okay, I would apply. I would have 2 fortune dice on my next attack against him for how bad that lie was.
I have no idea. I thought that was the governor. Oh, I am so shocked.
He's not the best at lying. The imposter sort of has a look of, oh, I am working with amateurs. Anyways, that's it for 5. General So, what is he gonna do here? Actually, that's a really good question.
He's going to cook the imposter.
Actually, I know what he's gonna do.
Make delicious sugar chicken.
No.
No.
You, he says, pointing at Batu. Good work. If you could apprehend him, we would be most appreciative. You, he points to his soldiers. Come with me. We're going to see if we can find the actual governor. I will leave the sorcerer in your hands, Gao.
Yeah, got it. Good.
I am trying to simplify the fight.
Yeah, fair enough. Daolu still has a general to punch. I mean, talk to after this is done.
Engage in vigorous debate.
All right.
Yes.
So that is it for 5. 4.
All right. You want to go first for me, Olan?
I kind of feel like we need your high rolls to hit the assassin, so I guess I can try and take out the sorcerer first.
If you wish, that's fine.
All right, I'll go for it then. Hiya! I'll like cartwheel in, do a somersault over Daolu and strike. Hiya! And that is only a 14.
That would hit his defense normally if he wasn't impaired. So you hit by 2.
Yay! So with the blooded blade value, that is a damage of 12. So 14 total against his toughness.
All right. So that's 8 wound points.
What am I talking about? 10 plus 4 is 14 because I've got 4 from taking them out.
Yeah. Either way, it's enough to get him to above 35 wound points. He goes down like a.
Okay.
House of Cards is your usual go-to.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of something different than usual.
Fair.
That will also trigger my flashing katana ability, so I'll just give a free boost to Daolu.
That'll help with the impairment.
Yeah, he collapses like a blancmange in a cupboard. If I may steal a line from Eddie Izzard.
All right. I might as well give Batu some support in this case here, and try to take out the
Totally not a ninja.
well, I mean, that's like he's well, he's not wearing his official ninja hair right now, so he's definitely not a ninja right now. I'm trying to think of the funniest weapon to go after him. I'm just thinking soup ladle is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
Yeah.
There's in the chaos. There's a soup
Oh,
ladle.
so you're going to cook them. Okay.
So the boost is a +1, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so this would be effectively a 17 on the attack due to the impairment.
All right.
Correct.
Yes.
All right, because
If it would only be an 18, it'd be a 17 now. Yes. Impairment's -1.
Oh, -1. So that's an 18 then,
Okay. Yep.
because it's a new weapon.
Oh, new weapon, so it'd be 19. Okay, fair enough.
Yeah. So it's an 18, and again, fortune on this. Wow, it's an 11. I had a
That
double.
actually does not hit.
Exploding negative. Yeah,
That's
double
the first
exploding
time I've
negative.
seen you miss with an attack in this entire game.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it's better that the 2 6s were on the negative die instead of, having
On
a
the positive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boxcarring a miss.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
the imposter pulls his sword free of Batu and cartwheels out of the way of out of the swing of Dalu's soup ladle. He instinctively realizes the threat the soup ladle poses.
At the very least, Dalu is able to get him off of Batu's back a little bit.
Oh,
here.
yeah.
So
All right. Anyone else on 4?
Nope.
What is Gao?
and this is also why I did not dodge the entire time, because I get one more attack in this
That is fair.
sequence.
General Gao gets to go now. I forgot to do something with him. All right. Gao has been taking poison damage during all of this, unsurprisingly.
He improperly cooked food. I got it. But he's poisoned, not from this fight.
Well, the governor did poison him.
I know. It's just like this.
Was he poisoned or was it so? No, it's Gao. All right. You, imposter! Stand down and face justice.
Oh, well, it's nice knowing you, Governor. It was nice knowing you, General.
I look at the general. I was like, when has that ever worked?
I mean, that's a fair question. Now that misses. See, you are correct. He swings his two-handed sword at the governor, who basically looks like he was there 1 second and he's actually over here the next second when the sword sword hits. Anyone else on 4? Nope. 3.
That's Yuri and Zhao.
Yep.
Yuri, want to go first?
You go first. Yuri is not with it right now.
All right. So Zhao is taking advantage of the distraction. He sees the governor, the fake governor, do the cartwheel, and he's taking aim. He's like, I got you, you wily bastard. And so here's what's going to happen is he's firing his crossbow. I'm going to eagle eye it for 3.
Okay.
So +3. And and add +1 because that's a blam epigram.
Ooh, okay.
So, because I did my pithy quote. So, and I'm going to put a fortune die on this.
Okay.
So this +3. Hopefully it's good. That's good. That's
21.
21.
21. All right, that hits by 4.
All right. So the weapon is 7, and you're going to add 8 to that because he's impaired.
Yeah, technically. So that's 15 then?
That would be 15 damage. Yeah.
Plus the smack, plus what you hit by, right?
Yeah. What's what I hit by?
So you hit by 4, so therefore 19.
19.
19.
All right. Yep.
So 6 defense, 11.
Yep.
Excuse me, no. 13 damage.
Yep. Not enough to put him out, but yeah, he is badly hurt. Yuri, what are you doing? If anything.
I'm not sure if it'll make any impact, but if Yuri is able to see Daolu, I think she'll see something that's rare for Daolu.
That he's hurt.
Yes.
Right.
If that matters at all. It does. It probably won't, but.
So Yuri is going to. She's watching this individual's movements and like noticing that the general is like breathing a certain way as if afflicted by a certain kind of poison that
Yep.
she's familiar with,
Mm-hmm.
and is just like putting it all together in her head and is coming up with a solution that she dreads.
Mm-hmm.
And the gunshot, or at least the crossbow shot, whatever it is,
That was a crossbow bolt, yep.
it was a crossbow. Okay, so the crossbow shot landing real clean does kind of snap her out of like her catastrophizing long enough for her to go to realize if this one doesn't get put down now, we're all in tremendous danger. Me especially.
Mhm.
And so she's just going to rush this dude.
Okay.
Like reckless abandon rush this dude.
Okay, fair
and,
enough.
Like, yeah, fortune die,
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
of course. 14.
14 will not
landing
hit.
that.
He
Yeah,
basically parries your strike, looks at you, blinks a couple times, smiles, and says in Japanese, "Be seeing you," and throws a smoked bomb down at his feet.
Damn it! I have one. I was going next action.
Yeah, well, he is a ninja. He does not fight to the death. That is stupid. Woof.
So he's trying to cheese it.
Oh, he cheeses it. This is
Yeah.
GM. This is a GM Fiat roll.
GM Fiat. Gotcha.
Yeah.
I'm just seeing the smoke bomb go down, and you just see Batu's club cleave through the smoke.
Yeah, you come swinging in just as he's gone, basically.
Yuri is just going to kind of slump to her knees, drop her weapon, and just kind of look at the floor.
There's going to be loud cursing in Mongolian.
An elusive target. Impressive.
Okay. So what would be funnier? Punching the general or hitting him with the soup ladle?
Soup
The
ladle.
answer is yeah.
Guess the soup ladle.
It's the soup ladle.
Yeah. It's like he
Bong!
Daolu, Daolu will smack the back of General Gao's head with a soup ladle and kind
Ow!
of point it
What?
accusingly at him.
You struck me.
Hey, I said all who disrupt the well-being of the common folk here are committing treason. You and your soldiers have been causing havoc in the city, along with the guards here.
What? We were attempting to apprehend a criminal.
You should have told that then you or someone underneath your rank didn't get that message, and now the folks here are going to have to spend weeks establishing any sense of normalcy after all of this.
How? Wait, the word did not go out. We were attempting to apprehend the criminal governor, who not only was attempting to bribe imperial officials, but didn't even have the funding to do it because he'd spent it all on attempting to purchase one of the Imperial concubines.
I implore you to take a walk through the streets and see if your men had gotten the message, as it were, and see the disarray that you've put these folks into.
Yeah. What's the word? Reparations. You should pay reparations to the common folk.
Or barring that, you and your soldiers could spend the
Did
time
the fighting spill out?
rebuilding.
Did the fighting spill outside the palace?
We had to walk through it.
The fighting spilled out to the perimeter of the entire
Oh, those idiots! Nope, you're right. That is on us.
city. There'll be another bonk on the head with
Ow.
the soup ladle.
It's a loud clang.
Apologies are easy to make unless there's work to be done.
No.
to
There's work
amend it.
there's work that needs to be done. We also need to find. Well, first off, we need to find the governor so he can properly be put on trial. Hopefully, so we'll find him. Should have thought of it. I should have thought that was an imposter. Incredibly obvious in
Stop
retrospect.
playing with the mouse.
Dalu just sort of like Dalu looks like shit, but he also just like does not seem to give a shit about like chastising someone who is so far above his own rank. But
Thought we'd caught the governor in an attempted bribe, and of course, he freaking.
Lon takes a moment to check on all the regular rank and file guards.
Yep.
Make sure that
All the ones who are in here are either conscious or mostly unharmed. Actually,
okay.
most of them.
And
The
then-
Imperial, the Imperial soldiers have clearly been under orders to try to incapacitate but not like badly injure the guards, because the guards are just doing their job.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's good, at least.
Yeah. I'm gonna check the sorcerer and make sure he hasn't turned into a log or been poisoned or something.
No, he's actually quite. Depending on whether Olan wanted him alive or dead, that he's either unconscious or dead.
It definitely occurred to Olan when the governor's disguise slipped that she should not strike to kill.
Okay,
So
you can at least question the sorcerer. Got it.
right. He's probably going to be very unhelpful, but we might as well try.
When was the last time a eunuch sorcerer was helpful?
The last time we talked to one.
Oh, you know what? Fair.
That's why we talked to one.
To be fair, he was also bound by sorcery.
That is also true.
I'll also add that Dalu does go straight to Yuri after chastising the governor to check on her specifically.
That's definitely what Lon's doing too.
Yeah.
So the General Gao is sort of ordering his troops around. It's like, go see what damages have been done. Damage has been done to the town, and to see what's happened to the citizenry.
I'm gonna hogtie the sorcerer.
Go for it.
Yeah. So while that's happening, Zhao is definitely conferring with General Gao and filling him in on the details of the.
So you've arranged for a replacement. Good. We don't have to search for one. Inspector Ping. I've heard good things about Ping.
Yes,
It's the only way Batu knows how to tie someone up is hog tying them.
All right. So feel free to do the check-in on Yuri thing.
Yeah, Dalu will look down to Yuri and just sort of, she can hear how ragged his breathing is. And Dalu will just simply say to her, please, pick up your tools. There's still work to be done.
Yuri is just kind of gibbering without any kind of coherency. Her eyes are dilated to the degree of there's no way she could possibly see anything right now.
She's taking mushrooms. Gotcha.
Okay. Daolu is going to get her out of this. So I'm trying to think of the best way to do so. I'm making an offer and being told no, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna keep doing it. So I need more information or need guidance on what to do.
got something if it's okay.
What's that?
I've got something if it's okay.
Go ahead.
Vaughn's gonna try and give her a hug.
Oh,
That does snap her eyes into focus, and she stops gibbering no over and over enough to kind of look up and around and have a moment of coherency. Like, what?
Dalu nudges her whatever she dropped towards her with his foot and just says, "Pick up your tools. There's still work to be done."
Will we have the days to complete it? She says, picking it up and like half-heartedly sheathing her sword.
Doing nothing guarantees there won't be a next day.
She won't say anything for the moment, but she will get up and follow the lead.
At that point, after that, Dalu wouldn't say he let the mask slip, but you just kind of see him kind of grabbing at his side a bit and kind of drop the soup ladle that he was holding there, just that first one was really good.
Did anyone get poisoned? Beyond
There was poison?
Well, I'm saying this out of character, but yeah.
Oh, out of character. Okay, I'm
only
saying,
person who actually suffered poison is
Yeah.
Gao because
Okay.
Ash avoided damage and Batu made the
Batu's-
save.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
Batu's made of
Right.
meat.
Dalu got fireballed.
Hey,
Right.
no.
Yeah.
Okay.
Bearing
we
that
should,
in
we should
mind,
get that checked out.
Yuri.
Ouchie.
Bearing that in mind, Yuri will look to the general and is going to say, rattle off the name of a plant, and is just going to say, apply that to your wound. You won't live beyond twilight without it.
Oh. Ah, yes, poison might explain why my breathing's a bit ragged. I appreciate that. You points to one of his guards. Get an apothecary and what was the plant's name again? Just you rattle it off.
Amaryllis.
Yeah.
Amaryllis.
Curare.
He writes it down.
Zhao directs them to the apothecary they went to before.
I like what's the plant name? Buccinellus.
Wolfsbane. All right.
But yeah, but
Okay. So
go
it
ahead.
looks like if that I'm guessing that the general vibe here is that the generals are kind of taking stock of the situation. Zhao is explaining stuff to them, so they're handling stuff officially. So I guess we can just do whatever the hell we want, right? So
They don't see you paying a lot of attention to you at the moment.
right. So
One of the generals
Lon's
is not present, the other is sort of, dealing with things, so.
So Olan's going to kind of, nudge Daolu. She's going to, nod at Yuri and then kind of nod with her head out of the room, basically.
Oh yeah. It's Dalu will nod, of course, and pick up the ladle, sheath it accordingly over his shoulder like it's a sword. And then just sort of make a gesture for Yuri to follow along with him so that they can make their leave from here.
For once, she has no snappy comment to make and simply follows in silence.
All right. This could be an opportunity for them to have a talk together privately, or we could just have everyone leave together. Either way, but
I was thinking this is a good time to move into that.
sure.
Mhm.
Like that will look to Batu, and Olan, and it's like just make sure that things get cleaned up accordingly, right?
Oh, all right, yeah.
We will see you. We will see you anon.
Okay. And Lon's gonna like, look at the state of both of them, honestly, and be like, okay, where do you want? Where should we reconvene?
Probably back at the camp outside the perimeter of town would be more than fine.
Okay. And then she's going to look at all the bodies she made, basically. They're all unconscious, but
But that is that's the proposal from Daolu before he starts making his way out with Yuri, at the very least, to get her away from where there's a lot of attention and the possible thought of her being a co-conspirator in the whole thing. To her advantage, since nobody witnessed her doing any ninjutsu, then that honestly,
True.
that saves her from being viewed as a possible accomplice. But Daolu's primary goal is extraditing her from this location, swiftly. So,
Mhm.
we can do that scene, or we can cut to others first, with whatever the party's feeling like.
Uh, hmm. I suppose it works to go for this now since we kind of set it up.
Go for it.
All right.
So Yuri is just going to kind of follow without words for a fair while, and you know, once a quiet area is reached and Dalu is just kind of tending to his wounds, she'll finally speak up. I'm doomed.
Well, this is a surprising lack of confidence in your part, Yuri. Apologies. Still just recovering from it. I take it you either know that individual specifically, or you at least know of him in some manner, speaking.
She's going to look uncomfortable with her eyes shifting off to the side. You remember how I've mentioned that I'm a failure?
So was he your
I don't
master?
know that one in particular,
Mm.
but that one's not a failure. That's one who was successful, one who is strong.
Daolu just shrugs a little bit at that. It's just like, he may be strong, and he definitely had a very good plot that I'm upset that I didn't caught wind of when I was in the kitchens themselves. But be that as it may, you at least were successful at stopping his, well, potential assassination of a general, and I have a feeling that you have discovered more as to the general situation. So you can disclose what you see fit. I will not force any of it out of you, of course.
Well, I suppose I can share that with folks soon enough,
Mhm.
but I don't feel like any of us are safe anymore.
I would
We
not.
are a strong group of people, And I've always felt that I'm the weakest amongst us. And I make up for that in other ways. But it only takes one of someone like that to change such things.
I don't care. I don't care how strong he is. I don't care how successful he is. I will see fit that those like him are taken care of accordingly.
Yuri wants to like argue, but doesn't really feel like putting in the energy for it. Like she opens her mouth like she's going to say something and then just closes it again. And instead she's just going to like root around in Daolu's stuff for like the sutures.
Yeah, mostly Dalu has just been tending with like effectively as close to cold compresses as he can muster with limited resources and supplies. But it's like I've heard, well, trying to think of like a way to pivot to like because I know there's like a plan thing you want to talk to Daolu
Right, yeah,
about.
yeah.
So I want to find a way to pivot into that to
Right.
almost distract from the situation at hand. He will just say to you, just like, for what it's worth, I know you view yourself as as weak among us. I don't view you in that manner, for what little that might mean.
Yuri's going to kind of like breathe heavily and then is just going to kind of scowl a little bit at that statement.
There's just
What else could I be when you're better than me in every single way? What value does that word carry? Anywhere I infiltrate, you're there and you know who I am immediately. Any fight we get into, you're vastly more effectual. I don't know of anything that I can do that you don't do better, and I don't know how you do it. You make no sense to me.
the answer is simple. I'm nobody.
That's what you say. By your words and deeds, you are nothing more than a common man representing the common people. And yet you do extraordinary things all the time, and I have to say, I don't think I believe you. Because it doesn't make sense. Now, maybe whatever is not usual around you is something you're not aware of. I don't know. But I don't think you're the common man. I don't think you're a regular person. I walk through streets casually, avoiding detection by choice, and no one can ever notice that I'm there. I can avoid the detection of skilled people who dedicate their lives to rooting out thieves and spies, and I get away with it constantly and without issue. And yet somehow, anytime you're there, you know who I am immediately. And yet you never interfere with me either. Why?
Well, to answer your second question, generally speaking, I have no reason to interfere with your operations.
You claim to be of the common people, and yet I steal without any particular discrepancy. Rich, poor, it doesn't matter. As long as they have something valuable, I take it. I would think that you would take exception to that, and yet you don't.
Usually, if you were to steal something that was of worth to those who are lacking, the solution I would do after you leave is try to replace that which has been stolen. To remake, because for most things can be replaced.
And who does that?
Well, in those situations, usually me, because it provides a good cover for you at the very least. But more notably, it is the most transparent way to resolve the situation.
That's not what I mean. What common person does that? What common person has the means to do that? What person has the inclination to do that? To cover for a thief who is selfishly stealing from others? I don't understand you. Like, are you some kind of, I don't know. Are you one of them? Because you use similar moves sometimes.
I'm familiar with.
Have you just been following me and aiding me because
Oh,
someone wants me to achieve something or something? I don't know.
no. That the fact that we run into each other is mere happenstance, as far as I know. That being said, yes, I am aware of the ways of your tradition. As you see, there's at least one other of your tradition that is in the borders of this country. Though to be fair, I never went through any particular training. It was just curiosity to the idea of a tradition that dresses in the clothes of a commoner to avoid a detection in order to achieve what they're trying to do. And to be frank, there's something about that that became very appealing. The to do something, and for those that are not paying attention, to appear that you've done either nothing at all or that something has been done uh, without your uh, without your presence in the first place. And so it just became a thing that I started doing as I traveled from job to job. I tried to find progressively more subtle ways of operating and moving, taking only the tools that I needed for the jobs I have done and leaving as little trace of myself behind as I could.
For fun.
I don't have aspirations of being a leader, and outside of living for food, drink, rest, and others, there's not much else for me other than to do what I can. When I first saw you, however, that was that was a little exciting to say the least. You could say that I had heard of rumors of someone like you before, but when I first saw someone like you, I immediately took an interest in terms of, I wonder what she's up to. Wonder why she's doing this. Best not get in her way. So that's why I've operated like I've had around you.
It's fortunate for you that I am a failure. Otherwise, you would have been put in the dirt.
Besides, between the two of us, you actually have an aspiration. You actually have something you're striving towards.
So much for that now. They know I'm
Uh,
here now. They know what I look like.
so
So they're going to come for me.
I will repeat my prior question.
Could you actually repeat it?
Just like
As in, so what?
yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, just like he said, like, they know that you are like, so that's right. Again,
Okay.
yeah.
I know what they can do, and they terrify me. Because I cannot run from that. Any danger that I have ever experienced in this country, I can get away from. Even if I can't beat it, I can leave it. I can't run from that. There is no escape. They come until you are dead.
Or until they're dead.
There's a lot more of them than there are of us.
I'm curious about why this one is coordinating with a sorcerer from the looks of it, from the Imperial Court.
I mean, why wouldn't they? I was trained to be a spy and an elite killer. They're acting as a spy. They're doing espionage. Same as I do. Just with coordination and far more resources and experience.
That's not what I was concerned about or thinking about. I'm curious about how much the Imperial side of thing is in coordination with this.
Hmm.
I don't think. Well, I was like, there's many things that could be happening. There's many assumptions that could be made. I don't
Offhand, I would think coercion.
potentially, but we'll find out more when Olan and the others are able to interrogate the sorcerer. I'm pretty sure he does not want to see me after what I did to him. But I do apologize for vexing you so, Yuri.
I just feel like your existence invalidates mine.
Out of character, I'm just having such a hard time dealing with this conversation because it's just like, this is not what I was expecting the conversation to be. So I'm just having a hard time responding to it.
Mm-hmm.
Because saying like Dalu's answer is going to be like, I don't agree. That doesn't make any sense. That's like saying that a yet to be complete, like, I guess I have one way here to say it, like, just because you have yet to reach a more complete realization of who you are does not make you invalid, Yuri. It just means you're still on your journey.
Of course you heard Ola and I talking. Of course you know about that kind of conversation we have.
No, I mean, we've already talked before about your plans, about what you want to do.
Oh, that's what you meant.
I mean,
I thought you were talking some philosophical thing.
no, just, I mean, you're, but speaking of Olan, I mean, it's just like a craftsperson could look at a sword that has not been properly folded or tempered or finished, and if it was used for something that is not its purpose, then it would be a failure at that. But it could either be finished for its intended purpose or can be repurposed for another goal. There's always, one must remember that there's always two sides to any tool that is made. A tool is created by someone with the intention of being done for a job, but its purpose is also created by those who use it. And thus, how one under disguise could take a common tool for working the soil, like a hoe or a rake, and turn it into a lethal weapon, or a prop for a door. Either of those things. Some people might say that's an improper use of the tool, but every piece has a purpose, and finding that purpose is as important as being honed for a purpose.
Provide the time to repurpose it, it exists.
Well, all I could say is then we'll just make time for it.
Then I hope I'm wrong.
I'll see to it that you are.
Great. Thanks.
That all being said, was there anything else of note that you found in your investigations?
I did. Probably best to have the group for that.
Fair enough.
And Yuri is just going to kind of help with like any kind of medical applications that's been going on at this point.
Okay.
I am going to prod the sorcerer. Dum, dum.
All right. So, yeah, the sorcerers are.
Going to look at the sorcerer. I'm going to
I.
hold out my,
I've been
I'm going
tied up.
going to hold out my sword.
Ah.
I'm going to take out a piece of parchment that has been, discarded from many, many fights and stuff. I'm going to hold it over the blade, and I'm going to let my sword cut it in half lengthwise.
Hmm.
My father fashioned this sword. It's
I
very,
see.
very, very sharp.
So would appear.
Wounds that are made with it are very, very easy to actually heal, assuming that, the limb isn't entirely detached, because the wounds are so clean.
Impressive.
I'm not going to hurt you with this weapon. My friend Batu's weapons don't leave such clean wounds.
No, I don't need weapons.
Oh,
I sort of
And
like rest a meat hook on his shoulder.
Ah.
so, where's the governor?
I honestly don't know. I know I know he took some of his concubines and fled. That's all I know. And he took his bodyguard. He gave his bodyguard disguise to cover for him as he fled. But I don't know where he fled to. He apparently set a fire in his. Apparently, he set his room on fire as a way to destroy something. I don't know what. I was just his court sorcerer. I don't really know much. He just told me to make sure that his bodyguard could buy him enough time to flee.
Concubines.
Yes.
Okay.
It sounded you were fighting to defend an imposter there. That must make you pretty loyal. Loyal enough to lie under duress, and I squeeze.
Ow. Yeah. I mean, I get paid a fair bit I got paid a fair bit by the governor, so And I thought that the bodyguard would be able to get us out of the situation intact. We weren't planning on you people showing up and chipping in.
I'm happy with this answer, but if you're not, I understand, Matu.
You think so? Think he's telling the truth?
I don't think that he really has a reason to lie at this point.
Nope, not at all.
I could pull his arm off. That
I
might.
really rather you wouldn't. I wouldn't have much else. I don't have anything else to say though. Seriously.
That would make a big mess.
That would. And then Dailu would have to mop it up. The last thing we want to do is give him a mop.
But yeah, I I'm just paid very well to do my job, and again, I was pretty sure that we'd be able to handle the situation, with just the generals.
Well, maybe you can tell us something besides what the governor is doing now. But maybe we should figure that out later.
Well, okay.
Oh, I do have another question for him.
Oh,
That bodyguard?
yeah.
Yeah, he's not from around here.
No, I don't know where he's from. He's from some country across the water, from what I understand.
He's from where I am, Yuri says, walking into the scene.
Oh, well, we would not be there.
I'm saying like this is afterwards.
Oh, I thought this was happening at the same time. Yeah.
If you want to head back, sure. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay. I was assuming that we were going to be there waiting for everyone to catch up to us.
Oh no, I figured we were just stepping away and coming back.
No, I thought we were leaving. My thought was we left town entirely, went back to our original camp, was where we were.
Oh, I thought we were just like in a room over there.
No. That was that's what I was saying. That was trying to extradite Yuri out. That's what I was.
Oh, I didn't catch that at all. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean it's fine.
I mean, do you guys want to be present there now or no?
I'll just go with whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Fine, Yuri's not there.
Okay.
Okay.
It came from somewhere over the water, over from some island somewhere. I don't know. I don't know where the governor found him, but he hired him fairly recently.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm going to see if I can let's see. Hang on. What's an intelligence stat?
Intimidate.
I mean, if you don't have an appropriate skill for it, you can just use the flat 7 roll.
Yep, that's what it's going to be. Hang on. How do I do that?
Slash
I
roll.
just-
I mean,
Yeah,
there's-
or
untrained
just
skill.
pick one of
There's
them.
untrained skill. Here it is.
Yeah, there you
It's
go.
a 7. Okay. Eventually, the gerbil spins around in the cage a bit, and she realizes that. Oh, island. Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
It's from Taiwan.
No. Where is that?
That's what it even called Taiwan right now.
It doesn't even exist yet.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And
Oh,
also,
okay, okay.
yeah,
He's
and
from the
also,
Falcons. Gotcha.
You wouldn't even call it Taiwan. That's
From Formosa. It would be Formosa, yeah.
yes. That would be more correct. Yes.
Gotcha. He's from Christmas Island. Gotcha.
Meanwhile, in Hawaii.
Well,
Oh, dear.
Mr. Court Sorcerer guy,
uh-huh.
what was the governor having you work on before this happened?
Just doing whatever various things he needed, mostly sort of,
Mm-hmm.
Out of character, I'm not sure I hadn't really thought about that. So
Okay.
he lists
I
off
mean,
some basically, he's basically a court advisor, basically.
Let's just pull it on the rope. It's okay.
I'm just kind of imagining he's like a
Legitimately,
lot
he's an imperial sorcerer, but he mostly served as a court advisor, basically.
Got it.
And kind of a yes man, really.
Well, Mr. Court Sorcerer guy, I think that your best move right now is going to be to say yes to whatever deal the generals offer you by giving up any information you have. And I think we'll leave it at that. Okay.
Well, since the bodyguard guy seems to have left, that might be safe then. I was under the impression that if I did take such a deal, he'd probably just kill me. I'd really rather avoid that, if at all possible. But yes,
Okay.
taking the general's offer, assuming that it's still valid, it seems like a good one. I would agree.
All right. I'm gonna.
You get the impression his sense of self-preservation is pretty high.
Yeah.
I'm gonna basically give up on this. And,
He honestly doesn't know that much.
yeah. I'm gonna go over to Zhao once he has a moment of all of his court business and stuff.
Mhm.
And Milan's going to say, I'm kind of worried about our others, but I shouldn't leave for good until I've had a chance to meet with the returning captain when he gets back.
Well, he should be here any time. I know they told me he'd be here by nightfall. Quote unquote soon. Actually,
Soon.
soon. This has
What time
been.
was it just like sunrise when we came in?
It was sort of midday.
Okay. I'm trying to determine how much time we have to like leave town and then come back, basically.
I mean, a good chunk of time, and the captain will probably be here for a while.
Okay.
Yeah. And,
Since-
also,
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh,
we haven't eaten yet. Like,
good point.
we got to get some food.
I'm going to go to the generals and I'm going to say, when the captain arrives, and she's going to take it, grab a piece of parchment, she's going to write her symbol on it, like her blacksmith symbol. I get to be in the front of the line, okay? I'm not going to get put behind
General Gao, the apothecary treating him, looks at this and goes, "You wish to speak with the captain of the guards?
Yes.
You've been of much help. I will make sure that he will be able to see you."
Good. I'm not going to wait in line just so that someone tells me I have to wait in line again.
No, just
Okay.
come to the palace and talk to me.
Good. Okay.
You were of great help.
No one's going to stop me from talking to you, right?
They'd better not.
Good answer. Okay.
As I said, you were of great assistance. You are owed at least a favor.
All right.
Yeah. And, if they get in the way, we can always just hit them till they stop being in the way.
I'd appreciate it if you didn't, but I understand why you would feel the need to.
All right. Everyone stop trying to kill each other for stupid reasons. All right. Let's go back to
I would think that was a very good reason to say as I walk with you on the way out.
I mean, the guards and the soldiers fighting. They were fighting for stupid reasons.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely fighting for stupid reasons.
All right. I guess everyone sort of reconvenes.
All right. At the camping site, I
Yes.
suppose.
Yes.
All right. Alon's going to retrieve the jade sword that I hid earlier.
Yep.
Just so I don't forget that.
You were able to retrieve all the stuff that you hung on to.
Cool.
All right. Do you all want? So I guess we should have the filling in thing. I do want to wrap up soon because I have to make dinner soon. So,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
but if Yuri wants to
also
fill
have
in fill the party in what she found, this might be a good time.
In the governor's room, most things were burned. I found about the only thing that wasn't. And she's going to produce the burnt out journal with the remaining pages. seems in the first place, the governor was in contact with an individual by the name of
Han Lin.
Lin? Lin?
Han
I
Lin,
actually
yes.
remembered.
Hold on.
An individual by the name of Han Lin, which, if I am recalling all I know about the courts and everything else, is one of the imperial candidates for the throne.
She was the Han Lin was a representative for them, is what the journal said.
Is a representative for one of the imperial candidates for the throne. Meanwhile, this bribery deal was an attempt to get in with the emperor in the first place, so that the deal with this Han would not be necessary. And it would appear that we've kind of forced their hand on the matter.
So by the antics that we did the night prior, we sort of forced this unveiling to happen faster than probably well, not faster than planned, but at all.
Alon's just going to say, I don't understand what's happening.
Yeah, I mean, shouldn't... Is he not in charge, in line to be emperor? Is he trying to, like, take over to be emperor? What's going on?
Well, okay, so
That was me out of character. That was me
okay.
misspeaking in character. Excuse me. Because I misremembered.
so okay,
It is
so
an advisor to
yeah, so
a candidate.
I will sort of the journal basically recounted a bit of the meeting that the governor had with Han Lin, who is a representative of an imperial heir, is the way it is written. The imperial heir is what was in the journal. And wanted him to make some sort of deal to make sure that to help them end up on the throne, basically. The next page was basically his bribery, his attempt to bribe people in the emperor's court so that he could get a deal with the current emperor and therefore would not need to make any sorts of deals with whoever Han Lin represented. It's a case of I've got an opportunity to bribe these generals who will help me get in good with the emperor, and therefore I don't need this Han Lin person or whoever they represent.
So this is where I think Zhao is going to pull into his knowledge of the court and try to remember if he knows which of the imperial heirs Han Lin represents. Maybe we do this as like imperial.
Oh, you definitely would not. You definitely do not. I will say this flatly: you do not recognize the name Han Lin. I will say that definitively. You don't even need to roll for that. But feel free to make a roll.
All right. You know what? I'll just throw pressure on anyways.
Sure, go for it.
But I did.
Okay. 14. All right. Well, the emperor does have an heir. He's 7.
Complicates things.
Yeah, Zhao's like, what?
Yeah, it's a little. I mean, technically speaking, it could be someone who like is sworn to the heir and wants to maybe they're using the heir as a puppet to put them on the throne and have a puppet emperor or something.
This is where Zhao's kind of thinking like, despite like the only heir I know is 7-year-old. I wonder if this is related to the heir of
he'd be terrible to be in charge.
Wait a minute. Wasn't there another emperor that we were having problems with before?
Yes, that was my next thought. Maybe it's related to the imperial heir from that dynasty.
Or the previous dynasty.
It wouldn't be too difficult for someone to claim, the throne if they're from that bloodline. Sure, there'd be war, a lot of bribes, the usual, but people would accept it. Unfortunately, this isn't too much to go on. I will, of course, ask Inspector Ping if they know anything, but we might be better off tackling some other matters in the meantime.
Entirely possible. But that is what I've got prepped for today.
Mhm.
And is that I should wrap up shortly. So I think this is a good break point if you're all okay with that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. We'll wrap up here, and we should be back in, I think, a couple of weeks.
Yes, because I can't do next week either way.
Okay, cool. Cool. All right. So hopefully 2 weeks, and thank you all for listening. I hope, and thank you all for playing. Hope you all had fun, and we'll see you all next time. Take care, everybody.
We'll see
Bye,
you
everybody.
in the new
Bye, everyone.
year.
Yeah, it'll be 2025 when we next upload. Hooray! I guess.
Oh.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Stupid linear time.